In one of the strangest games you will ever see, the Georgia Bulldogs beat Auburn Tigers. I'm gonna make sure that I have that stream off and we're not going to have an echo here. I'm Dayne Young, UGAsports.com. We just did the watch along show with the head coach, Jim Donnan. It is 11:40 right now Eastern time, 10:40 over in the time zone where this game was played. And my goodness, Auburn comes out, scores, gains over 200 yards. Georgia in that same time frame gains 20 yards. Everything looks like it's going in Auburn's favor. At the end of it, the Tigers only score one touchdown for the game. And we all know what is going to be talked about here is this is going to be, was that a fumble? Should it have been a Georgia touchdown? Did that completely stop all the momentum that was happening there? Kirby Smart, as I have channel 2 on here, is just getting behind the podium. I'll try to tell of two halves is what he's saying. Proud of the team. Come out and start fast. They didn't start fast. They didn't play well. Auburn outplayed them. That'll all be on UGAsports.com. I want to have an ear out for some of this because, one, I want to know the situation with the timeout, with the clapping. What happened there? Like, that was super crazy. All right, he's saying on his amazing play at the end zone that the other team is never in until they're in. And, he's talking about how at halftime the coaching staff did a great job getting Georgia's players to kind of reframe and reset. And frankly, I actually think that was the failure that Auburn had here. To me, it looked like as they're walking off at halftime, you have Hugh Freeze and you have Cohen, the athletic director for Auburn, yelling at refs, being in their face, being aggressive with it. And I get they're disappointed and they're frustrated. And Kirby may do the same thing in that spot, but it didn't seem like to me that Auburn ever recovered from that. We kept trying to find the words. Auburn a little bit disheveled. Auburn kind of broken at that point. They were shook is what I said. And they never scored points in the second half. They went over. At one point, I think they had 15 yards in the second half. So Georgia completely dominates the second half, got dominated in the first half. And this is the Georgia that we have. Does any of this mean anything for the rest of the season or for Ole Miss next week or the bye week after that or Florida after that? I have no idea. I think there's plenty to complain about if y'all want to overreact to that. I think there's plenty to be really proud of. Georgia's resilience to find a way on the road at Jordan-Hare where a lot of really weird stuff can happen. I can go through the stats. I really don't know that a stat sheet tells you how crazy this game was. Gunnar Stockton, 24-37 for 217. Some coaching decisions in the second half. I thought Georgia was hyper aggressive, going forward on fourth down, not punting in certain situations. Gunnar Stockton hitting London Humphreys in that spot. I mean, that a couple of times I was thinking this is out of Georgia's character. We've seen this year. It finally worked out for Georgia this season. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those games that fans are concerned about Georgia because of all the problems that are still there, and it's really hard to project where this team goes to where fans want it to go. But at the same time, domination over Auburn for essentially a decade now. And I think fans will be happy with that too. We have a couple of them ready to get in here, chat it up. This is for y'all. This is a show for the fans. If you want to join, you can do that with the link that's in our YouTube description. So if you're watching on Facebook, go find us on YouTube. And I think that description is there. And so we want to get y'all's takes in here. Dave was first up. So I'm going to get Dave in here joining us. And Dave, reactions to one of the crazier nights that I've seen of Georgia football.
Well, wow. Oh, thanks, Dane. I was cracking up at Coach Don and his reaction. And I had a lot of overreactions. Like my first overreaction was they were going to score, go up 17. I was going to turn off the TV and go to bed. I was so disgusted. So, bad fan for a minute. But then, obviously, a few minutes later, I'm like, all dog again, which I really am. Uh, and I'll say my reaction at the end of the game, my overreaction is Gunnar Stockton won that game. And he got beat. He was getting a beat down in the first half.
Oh yeah.
He took some huge hits. And then he just goes out there and completes every key pass at the end of that in that death march, Kirby death march at the end of the game. I mean, it was unbelievable, really. And of
I mean,
course the
that first
receivers
big hit
too.
that I thought was probably a targeting. I was kind of surprised that they didn't pull him to have to do the concussion test because it looked pretty
Yeah,
brutal. But
yeah,
yeah,
I
he's a
agree.
warrior.
Totally agree. But is there a more resilient team in the universe?
Yeah, resilient has to be the word, right? Because I wouldn't say that they're necessarily good all the time, but
No.
they don't quit. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know you probably talk about this all the time, but I would love for you and Brett or someone to explain the first and second half, you know, um, schizophrenia, because how can we be so appear, I don't know, but appear so unprepared in the first half and then just totally dominate the second half? And we did that on defense against Bama too,
Yeah,
and
I
and Tennessee.
and I don't know that I have answers in the aggregate because again, this is a trend at this point. Tennessee, Bama, and now Auburn. For this game in particular, Auburn did have the bye week last week, and I think you could tell that that offense was scripted in a very smart way to take advantage of Georgia's defense early in that game. When Auburn wasn't going off a script quite as much and wasn't kind of leading from the front, nowhere near as efficient, not
Right.
explosive at all. And frankly, Georgia shut down their run game, so they weren't getting those easy yards between the tackles. I don't know that that answers your question, Dave, but that seemed like what I saw here on first glance.
Yeah, it's what happened, but the why really, it's really strange. I mean, I'm not schooled enough in the detail there to know, what they did differently in the defensive line that caused the runs to all of a sudden be stuffed, 2 yards. But anyway, an incredible, incredible. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. And another thing that happened that it's never happened in the history of Georgia football is my wife, who cannot watch a game with me in the same room, watched the entire second half on her iPad in the bedroom. And that's never happened before. And
Were y'all
actually been
having
unusual.
commentary throughout the house of
No, no, she just leaves me alone in my half. You know, can't be near me.
happy marriage right there? Like
Oh,
that's
it
the way
is.
to do
Yeah,
a game day.
35 years actually. So,
Yeah, that's wonderful.
yeah. But I mean, I cannot be negative about a team that plays as hard as those guys play. And I know there's a lot of things to complain about, but those guys play hard. They might not play smart, but they play hard.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with them. And my overreaction is just that Gunnar Stockton is just a beast.
Yeah, and there are things that Gunnar can do better too, but at the end
Oh
of
yeah.
it, I don't think you can complain much about anything with him, especially a lot of those calls that are hyper aggressive. How much trust does that Kirby Smart have in Mike Bobo and Mike Bobo having Gunnar Stockton? Like
Yeah.
that's the ultimate trust at that point.
Yeah. And I mean, I believe, but I'm unique, and I think Mike Bobo knows what he's doing most of the time. And I will tell you, I was at the Tennessee game, and right down there on like the 25-yard line, loudest place I've ever been. And every time we threw a screen pass, there were these young guys around me, and they complained every single time. And in the second half, we were just, we get a first down, and I'd go, "There's a screen pass," and they go, "I was okay that time," But I mean, I don't know what it is with screen passes and people not liking them, but they don't like them. But actually, one of the key plays in the game was also Zachariah Branch. One of those like a bubble type screen. Where he came in across. I mean, oh, yeah, I mean, he caught it and then cut across. I mean, that was a third and like what 8 or something,
Yeah.
if I remember, or 6. It's a huge play. But anyway, I appreciate you letting me do. I've never called into one of these before,
I'm
so I
so glad you
appreciate you
did.
letting me
This was
do it.
fantastic.
That's
You got
awesome.
us off to a great start for the show. I have a feeling this is going to go on for a few hours. So don't
I'll
be a
be here.
stranger. Come join us for future ones. I don't know that they're going to be this crazy. Maybe they're going to be a little
No.
more chill.
Yeah. Well, I won't be able to sleep anyway, so I'll watch the show tonight. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. Let's get Hawaii Dog in here, one of our constants. Did I catch it outside of the hammock? I thought you'd be in the hammock, Hawaii Dog.
No,
Oh yeah.
I'm in the Hemi, my friend.
All right. All right. How we feeling? Because I know you're not that relaxed actually.
No, the first half, man, I almost turned it off, man, and went and played damn Fortnite or some bullshit. But like, I don't know. These kids won't quit. They don't give up, and I don't know. A lot of the calls could have went either way. I think we got lucky with a few. I think they got lucky with a few. The offensive line worries me. And where was my Chauncey Bowens this week? Like, what in the hell's going on?
Well, we were
I mean,
asking about that
I
too.
wore my Chauncey Bowens shirt, my dog. But
Um, yeah,
it
he
just,
only had how many carries? He ended up with 4 carries. He had the touchdown, so we were wondering if he got dinged up or what. But look, credit to where it's due. Nate Frazier, a couple key runs there at the end.
no, don't- pause. Nate Frazier's our best running back. Don't give up on him because he drops the ball on the ground every once in a while. He runs hard. Chauncey he's got that wiggle to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? These guys, I'll put my money down now. We ain't gonna win the national championship, but they're a lot better than they were last year. Something about them, man. They just keep fighting. They just keep fighting. Uh, this team, man, it makes me take my anxiety medicine a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like I don't get it. I don't
yeah.
get it. Like
I think whatever medication or whatever vices people have, the Georgia fans, I think they're all ramped up a little bit this year. Um, but you just made a point that I think because of the offensive line, both injuries and among other things. AZ Dog, thanks for the super chat. Had one in here from Chris as well, talking about when Gunnar got his bell rung. Should he have gone into protocol? Yeah, I had the same question. But
no.
with the offensive line and the injuries that we've seen, Gunnar Stockton being able to evade pressure, extend plays, I think that's his greatest asset on this team. Sometimes his throws aren't the most accurate. Sometimes he doesn't have the proper amount of zip, too much or too little. But his ability to make this offensive line that is learning and slightly flimsy more manageable. I guess I put it this way, Hawaii Dog. As great as Carson Beck can be, with an offensive line like this, I think it would have been disastrous.
Yeah. Oh. Yep. It's funny. It's funny. He goes down to Miami, and a statue can be productive, but a statue can't be productive in Georgia. But we get three people drafted to the NFL. It's
Mhm.
like I don't get it. However, this is not the NFL. This is college football. We need to be more agile and whatnot. And Rayburn County, hey, I play ball at East Hall, so we played them boys all the time. Hey, I get it. I get it. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Gunner, man. Like I hope we do good. I just don't see us making it to the pinnacle, but I hope we make it to the quarterfinals. I'll give
Well,
us that.
you may, because I tell everyone I'm in this for the entertainment of it all. That's why I like the culture of college football. And a couple things about this work out well. One, Georgia's resilience and the stories that come from that, especially for Georgia fans here. But then two, an aggrieved Auburn is usually really good for this sport. Like that's a fun place to be when Auburn feels like they've been done wrong.
I can't like one. I despise Florida. I just like Auburn, and I hate Georgia Tech. So if that gives you any kind of category or whatnot, but that Hugh Freeze, he's below all three of those. That Hugh Freeze is something else. And you see Kirby at the end of the game, he didn't give that man 2 seconds. Like that man's got like goodness gracious. Like, gonna use, Lord forgive me. Gonna use his cell phone in Mississippi State, then go baptize them boys in Auburn. Like,
Mhm.
why in the hell is going on here? Like, goodness gracious, man. Like, anyway.
I hear you.
Oh
The Hugh Freeze story
Lord.
is a complicated one for sure.
Man, he's so arrogant, man. He's so arrogant on the sideline. It just don't I don't know. It don't make no nonsense to me. Nonetheless. Oh yeah. Tell Coach Don
Hmm.
we love him, we're praying for him, and he does a good job and we appreciate him being on every week. Man, I love that. I love that Tuesday show. When I'm at work, I throw my headphones on when I can, listen to it, and then his little uh, during the game, commentating and everything, pretty much calling 75% of what's supposed to happen. Man, that's awesome. And I remember watching back when I was in my early 20s, doing cul-de-sac parties, and Coach Donald was the coach. We're doing this and that, and run the down ball, and all this. And I just don't know, man. We got away from ourselves, but Coach Donald's a big memory of mine. Coach Donald, Rick, and now Smart, man. So you hug Coach Donald's neck for me, and you let him know we love him.
I will do.
Oh,
I will do.
oh, oh. And well, Coach Donald's probably not flying out here because of health, but Dane or Roddy, if Roddy brings his son back out here for damn jungle training over in Schofield, whatnot, y'all gotta let me know, man. I'll show you the best restaurants around here. It's on
I don't
me.
think it's
I'll
going to
pay
take a
for
whole lot to convince us to get out to Hawaii. So
it. No, y'all just gotta figure out a way to get a hold of me. Let me know. Give me a little nudge, and yeah, I got you. I got you.
we'll send the bat signal up. We'll get out there. We'll eat good. How about that?
Hey, have you ever had poke?
I have not. I have not, but I haven't been to Hawaii. So
I don't know if you want to eat poke or not, but being a Georgia boy, but my wife had to eat it first, and then I started eating it. But it basically raw fish, but it's pretty good, man.
yeah,
It's just caught that same day.
yeah, I'd eat it. I'd try it. I've eaten worse. I promise.
Well,
All right, let me roll on to some others. Hawaii dog. We appreciate you. You always jump in here early. You always got the good sunlight out there when it's dark and midnight over here on the eastern seaboard. So we appreciate you.
hey, aloha and God bless.
Same to you, my friend. Let's bring in William, always hanging out with us.
I'm
William
here.
Carlin. Wow. I
I'm
mean,
here.
we've done some chats on here before, William. I don't know if we've done any like this.
Okay. I guess my thing is, as a Georgia fan, obviously that was a fumble. Why was it not a touchdown?
I was asking the same question, and the only thing that I can come up with is that a whistle was blown. But I went to go listen to the broadcast of the play again.
No, I mean a Georgia touchdown.
Right. But I'm saying that fumble happens, they're calling it a recovery, and they blow a whistle saying a player is down when he actually wasn't down. That's the only thing I could think is that it was a whistle that they had blown.
I didn't hear no stinking whistle.
I didn't hear it either. But
how about them damn dogs, man? I mean, how can a team be so bad and so good?
yeah, all of that.
All of that. I love us.
I said they're both predictable and unpredictable. Both of those things seem to be true.
And everybody played well. I mean, even in the first half when we were getting blown out, everybody was playing well, I thought. But after that fumble, it was, it was over. They were done. We stole their soul.
They couldn't emotionally recover. It seemed like
they never got over it.
Yeah. And that's the thing that Kirby Smart teams seem to always kind of bounce back to that. So if there's something in the DNA of the program,
that's a real thing, man. That fourth quarter march, with 8 minutes in the fourth quarter to score that last touchdown that Gunnar scored. I mean, that's a real thing, man. And love us. I don't know. Gosh, Texas looks so good today. I'm worried about that game, but you
got Ole Miss first, and I know they didn't look as good today.
They did not look as good. Ole Miss next Saturday. But anyhow, we play well, and we play all 4 quarters. And I appreciate you letting me say that.
I appreciate you coming on. We always love your support on here, William. Anything else you want people to know about this game from your perspective before we move on to some other folks?
I've said I'm just so happy to be a Dawg fan. That's all I got to say.
I love that. Well, I hope you have a good night. Rest easy. Hope there's nothing that we got to apologize for in the morning, because I think we all said some stuff in that first half that we regret a little bit. But
go Dogs.
Thank you, William. Appreciate you. Let's get Heath Fox in here. Heath, I think you get the tone of the night. How was your first half versus the second half?
I'm going to have to go to the altar tomorrow morning.
So you're who I'm talking about. William is never that way. This is Heath.
Yeah. Oh, man, I tell you, that was crazy, man. I mean, first half, obviously, we looked terrible. I mean, we didn't look like Georgia football, right? I think we got to 0-5 on third down conversions. I think it got up to that. We were 0-5, maybe 0-6.
I mean, Auburn had 200 yards and Georgia had 20.
Yeah. So you look at that and you're like, okay, Auburn should have ran the table, right? But Hugh Freeze can't keep his composure, and he goes into halftime, says whatever he says, and Kirby Smart goes in and says what he says, and you see the outcome. I think Auburn kind of got frustrated. Obviously, the refs were throwing flags all night on both sides, but it was a confusing game. It was confusing. It was like, how'd this happen? How'd this happen, right? I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of the team for coming back and playing a good second half. I mean, they really had to dig deep and fight. And I love Gunnar Stockton. Love Zachariah Branch. I think he was the biggest hit in the transfer portal that we got. But overall, our offensive line and defensive secondary obviously have been the most question marks. They've been the question marks of the year. I think it was great that Bobo, not Mike Bobo, his son came in, played. Yeah, Drew Bobo. Sorry, I was drawing a blank. Came in and played through the injury. I think he was questionable at the beginning of the game and played a little bit. So I was very glad to see him tough that out and play, because we needed him.
I needed everybody on that offensive line that could play and be healthy. Ernest Green traveled, couldn't play. We were wondering, why do you waste a travel spot in a guy that's not going to be able to play? So maybe it was that late of a decision for him. There was one spot there in the second quarter where was it Calhoun? Like, someone was playing right tackle that wasn't Juan Gaston. And I was like, why is Gaston not in the game right now? Because he's significantly better than anyone else at right tackle. So I was confused there. And then it looked like, maybe it was just a rotational thing. But I'm like, you got to stop the rotational thing if it's getting Gaston out and putting other people in.
Absolutely. And I did my ritual when we're down like bad. During the Ohio State game, I went and took 2 shots of bourbon and just kind of hung out for a second, kind of had to dial down for a second, and then when the second half started, or when the second half started, I went in and I was like, all right, we got this. We come back, and obviously defensively we came back in the second half and played great. I think defensively we We shut them down the second half, and we listen. Auburn is not an easy place to play. That place is rocking. No matter what record the team looks like, that place is rocking. And like Saban said today, that place is freaking haunted. And I'm just glad to freaking get out of that place and move on to the next.
And now it's a series domination for Georgia. I mean, it already has been, but
Absolutely.
8 in a row.
Eight in a
Haven't
row.
lost to Auburn since 17 at Jordan-Hare. Is that
Yep,
right?
that's
And that's
exactly
with
right.
an SEC championship over them that same year
Yep.
to come back. So, yeah, I mean, this was one of those years that if Auburn had a shot at Georgia, this probably would have been one of those with this team, especially with the way that game started. How did you experience the goal line fumble review? Because it took from our perspective live on air here, it felt like it took 30 minutes for them to figure out what was happening.
Yeah, it did feel like 30 minutes. It did. And, you know, it's hard to say because as a Georgia fan, I obviously want it to be a fumble, right? But if I'm on the opposite side, I'm thinking that's a touchdown, you know, and the rule is the whole football don't have to cross the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just has to be the tip. And to me, you know, and Georgia fans might crucify me for this, but it did look like some of that football crossed the line. But if the ruling on the field is a fumble, and I didn't hear a whistle, like you said earlier, you didn't either, that's a touchdown for Georgia. That is absolutely 100% a touchdown for Georgia. And that goes back to me saying this was a confusing game because I think the refs were confused what happened. I don't even think they know what happened. But to me, that's a touchdown, Georgia, if that's the call on the field. So
Yeah, and weird if no whistle is blown, then the only two results should be either an Auburn touchdown because you reviewed it and you determined that the ball did cross the plane while in the possession of the ball carrier, or that it was a fumble that Georgia picks up, the player that has possession of it never is downed and then runs it for the touchdown. And yet somehow this other option came up in the middle, which the only thing I can think of is a phantom whistle, or again, the ref's just like, well, I guess this is what we're going to do.
Yes, exactly. And I think, I mean, just like with the Kirby Smart timeout, listen, I loved it. Him clapping the hands, but I mean, you look on it on replay, it looks like he was calling a timeout, but
Look, dude, I had diehard Georgia fans text me and be like, "Oh, that one made me feel a little dirty." It's like I didn't like that look.
Absolutely not. And so, you know, hey, listen, I'd rather be lucky than good any day of the week. So, I'm just glad that you know it ended up at the end of the night. It went our way, and I'm proud of the team, proud of what they did, proud of what they've overcome. A lot of injuries. And you look forward to next week. I mean, you got Ole Miss, and then you got a tough rest of the schedule. Even Georgia Tech at the end of the year is not a guarantee.
I would say far from. I think Tech may be undefeated at that game.
Could be, absolutely, could be ACC champions. Could be.
You go look at their schedule, and it's Syracuse, Duke, Boston College, Pitt. I mean, I'm not saying they could totally lose even two of those games. That's possible, but they should be favored in up until Georgia.
That's exactly right. And so the only thing we got going for us is that we got it at home, and we obviously play Florida in Jacksonville this year, and then we play Georgia Tech at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But you know, as a Georgia fan,
Mississippi State's not going to be the easiest thing either.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not going to be. It's not going to be a cakewalk with them. That's for sure. And as a Georgia fan, as a state of a Georgia fan, I'm used to this with the Atlanta Braves. You know, they pick you apart and they make you want to fold under, and then they come back and they win it. And it's like, man, it's hard to see the rest of the year because of all the injuries as well. I mean, look at our offensive line. I mean, seriously, take a good look, and it's like, well, these guys are young, right? I mean, these guys are young. They're hurting. But I'm just so glad that we got Zachariah Branch, even
How good is
Bell, and oh my goodness. I mean, he is absolutely one of the best receivers I've seen honestly, Lad McConkey was pretty good too, but I mean, since him, I mean, that's the best receiver we've got. So, obviously Brock Bowers, but I would like to see more tight ends get involved. Gunnar Stockton had some trouble getting it to Delp, and I don't know how much luck he played tonight, but
played a lot, not targeted a lot.
yeah,
Elias Williams probably had the biggest one in the open field. Could have been maybe a PI. Refs may have been a little nervous to call it by that point, but that could have potentially been a catch. So I think you'll still see more Elias going forward too as a pass catcher.
I think so too, and it shows you how much we're hurting for Ethan. You know, Ethan being out for the year definitely sucks. So, but like I said, man, it's just it's a 4-quarter game, right? I mean, it's a 4-quarter game, and you just can't give up on them early. You gotta stick through and fight it out, and you know we got the good end of the stick tonight. So.
Well, Heath, thanks for coming and hang out. We got some other folks who want to get in here, so always appreciate you, my friend.
Absolutely, I'll come back when Radi's in here. He likes to give me a hard time, so I'll make sure to come back in here.
I mean, speaking of, boom, look at that.
Oh, there he is.
Damn it, Heath. Get off my channel. You can come back in 20 minutes.
Hey, I will come back in 20 minutes. We'll have a discussion, Radi.
See you back in a little bit.
All right, brother.
That's Radi Nabulsi, publisher of UGAsports.com. You made it back to the headquarters from the Watch Along show. Did you get to hear any Kirby Smart on radio? I listened to very brief comments from him on Channel 2 here.
Oh, those post-game interviews are god-awful. I did see Brock, the new guy, say that in the second half, Auburn ran the ball 11 times for an average of negative 0.9 yards per carry. So I want to double check that stat. If you see it, go ahead and put it out on our channel. And well, I've been doing this a long ass time, 32 years, and that's going to rank up there with one of those crazy. I mean, the Tennessee game after it was done, we were saying instant classic, right? This game is one of those. It's not really an instant classic. It's just an absolute anomaly. It's just beyond weird. You had said last week when we talked about playing Auburn at night, you said Auburn night game. Weird things happen in Jordan-Hare Stadium. And I'm like, in the past, yeah. The voodoo in the first half versus the second half. I mean, they had 40. Auburn had 40 yards, and they got 25 of them on that last drive.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like two different teams. Part of it was, there weren't a ton. Everyone said, well, the second half adjustments are crazy. No, there weren't a lot of adjustments. There were a few to deal with the giving Gunnar more time. Send the tight end in motion, let him pick up a guy, and then have the running back go take the place he vacated. So if there's a backside or something like that pressure, then you get to him. And so they ran some, I don't say max protect, but some better protections. But the defense just started getting to people. And then Hugh Freeze started calling runs up the middle. You were attacking Georgia. You're owning Georgia on the edges. And yeah, I mean, Georgia moved his edge guys out a little bit further, but Auburn just fell apart in the second half.
Well, here's the difference to me, Radi. So we've seen Kirby Smart get animated for sure. Like it's kind of his thing too. When Hugh Freeze and then John Cohen, the athletic director for Auburn, are chewing out the head ref as they're going into the locker room, and then after that, Hugh has that interview with ESPN where he's really measuring his words. We've seen Kirby be in some of those spaces, right? Right. But what happens is Kirby then immediately flips to what's in front of me right now. And he goes right back into CEO mode and like, how do I make the decision that helps us next? I don't think Hugh Freeze flipped back around to that.
Yeah.
And I think all the stuff that was plaguing Auburn for all the legitimate or illegitimate reasons at the end of the second quarter were still there at the beginning of the third quarter. And I think that's what doesn't happen under Kirby Smart.
No, yeah, you're right, Kirby. This is a bad football team, Georgia. They're not a good football team. I shouldn't say bad. They're not a good football team. They're not what they were. And I will tell you, that is from the man himself. He has said that to other people that I know. He's like, we're just not that good. I'll put it that way. So not bad, not elite. You're just not as good. You saw that in the first half. But he talked about the fire, passion, and energy. And I know people roll their eyes when they hear that stuff because it sounds like such a cliche and it sounds so silly and stupid and it sounds like a Tony Robbins motivational speech. And it kind of is. But the fact that they were getting their butts kicked at Tennessee and they came back and won it. They were losing to Alabama. They stayed in that game. I mean, you should have won. You should have beat Alabama by scoring 35. You missed a easy block and then you missed a going away touchdown. So this team can score and this team can sometimes stop people. And tonight, I mean, you stopped a team. You only gave up 10 points second half. The defense played out of its mind compared to where it was. And again, Auburn kind of screwed it up. So you're right. After that fumble, Auburn wasn't the same. And Kirby's mantra about passion and energy and fire and all that kind of between the ear stuff and not between the hashes stuff, when they're not talking about what's going on in the field, when they're not talking about what's going on the scheme, I'm like, hey, Kirby, instead of worried about fire, passion, energy, find somebody who can set the damn edge. Find somebody who can turn the play back inside. Find a cornerback who won't give you an automatic first down, who doesn't play press coverage on third down and hold a guy's arms. Again, I'm not trying to tell him what to do, but that's my thought. I want to talk X's and O's. He wants to talk between the ears, and that played out today. Yeah. One fumble that should have been a Georgia touchdown, and the team comes back around. They don't think they're out of it. They know they're not as talented. They know they miss tackles. They drop passes. They miss blocks left and right. But they're like, well, we're still going to be in this. So, and they're going to lose another game this year, and it's going to be a bad loss. And we're going to say, where was the fire, passion this year? We're going to go back to making fun of that. But this is a team that, I mean, you look at how well they played. I mean, how they should have lost at Tennessee, but didn't. Should have lost tonight, but didn't. This is a team you can't count them out. And that fire and energy and passion, it does translate to the field at some point. To your, like as you're saying, because okay, what's in front of us? Where are we at? Hey, we're only down 7 going into after the worst possible half we could ever have, and we get the ball back. And yeah, really,
they keep raising that bar of worst possible halves. They've gotten pretty darn good about putting up the bad half or the bad quarter and having to come back from that. But and this will be the last thing, because we got John in the background, we got Jordan hanging out waiting to give their takes.
Jordan's eating like a pig.
All that is true about Georgia. This is a downgraded Georgia from what we've seen in the previous couple of years.
Yeah.
Auburn just had a bye week. Georgia spots them 10 points. It's at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Auburn, probably one reason that they look so smooth was because they're scripted from the bye week. Georgia's had a string of some tough games. And yet Georgia leaves them scoreless in the second half, comes back and wins with kicking game. You get a sack from C.J. Allen. Gunnar Stockton's a baller. And all of a sudden, Kirby Smart and Mike Bobo are super aggressive. Like, we're going to go win the damn game right now. When do we see that? And frankly, against Alabama, I thought they were over aggressive, and it was going against
the 8-minute 45. The 8:45 drive, according to Dash, ties for Georgia's longest drive ever. That is a death march.
And Georgia's had some great death marches before. I guess that's that.
But that aggressiveness, again, fourth down, and you roll out and you hit it, third down. Did they convert a third down in the first half?
I don't remember it, but
yeah, I don't think they did. So most of their the third downs and fourth downs were all in the second half, and a lot of them were on that last drive. They just kept the ball away. And again, we kind of Coach John said, hey, Gunnar needs to take a knee there or just slide and not go into the end zone. But how do you not Superman into the end zone? How do you not, with all the doubters? I'm happy that Gunnar got that one. And hey, Georgia needed the covers 3.5, and That's the bad beat right there. So I like it.
Well, I can slide out, let some other people slide in. Maybe y'all can figure out if there was clapping or a timeout, because I'm curious to know the answer.
Kirby says he was clapping, but he was doing this. So that is a weird ass clap.
Hey, you're going to see that happen in the stands next week. Like Georgia fans, that's going to be the new Georgia clap. Like, go Dogs!
I tell you who won't put up with that shit will be your boy Lane Kiffin. All right, get out of here. I want to bring on John, and then I got to hit a commercial so that we can get paid.
Appreciate everybody in this channel. The show's fun. What a crazy night. Y'all have fun. Rest of the show. See you, Radi.
Yep, see you. All right, real quick, I need to mention our friends over at the Rogue Shop. This show is sponsored by our friends at the Rogue Shop. Right now on the screen, I have their sleep gummies. And I know it sounds weird to call them sleep gummies, but these are their Delta 8 and Delta 9 gummies. They're very good for helping if you have chronic pain or you have insomnia. The Delta 8 THC are very potent sleeping aids. They can knock your ass out. If you have a hard time sleeping, if you have insomnia, I've started to get it, and I've been doing the little small ones. My best friend Cheryl down in Pensacola, she is a multi-decade insomniac, and it sounds like, oh, cool, she stays up late. No, this is a woman who has to get up and be at her job, by 8 o'clock. And when she is still awake at 4 a.m., yeah, it destroys her life. It has been miserable, but she's been buying tons of the gummies from our friends at the Rogue Shop using promo code Bulldogs10. She's not even a fan. But she goes, I like that Bulldogs 10 code because it gets me 10% off. So check out the Rogue Shop. Okay, that's rogueshop.com. There's a couple fake ones out there that people are trying to muscle in on what these guys do. Be sure that you see that kind of Rogue Shop logo there. And if the promo code Bulldogs10 doesn't work, well, you're on the wrong damn page. So go somewhere else. All right. John.
What's
what
up?
Do you think?
Well, first off, I'll be negative, I guess.
You can start out be negative for a half, and then the second half you can be positive.
We're told we're young. Daylen Everett and Monroe Freeling have to play better. They have to play better. And if Monroe Freeling was too hurt to be out there, then don't be out there. But he did not. He had a very Notre Dame game today.
Yeah.
Daylen Everett, if they're veteran leaders, they have to play better. They have to. And it's I don't know. This team is just they're just manic, I guess. But I think the it's comical to me. Like you're on Georgia's. We're all Georgia fans, but Georgia only scored 3 points off that fumble. Auburn can cry and moan and all that stuff about the fumble, but you had every opportunity to seize the back the momentum, and they just never did. And I'll tell you what, it's classic classic Auburn is they were riding that they were walking that fine line with emotion, and they bailed us out twice on that roughing the passer and the targeting.
Yep.
I mean, again, we can talk about the officials, and the officials screwed it up. More than likely, but the call on the field, you knew that's what they're going to go with. But when they bailed us out, they bailed us out twice with two very, very bad undisciplined penalties, and that was it. That was it.
Yeah, no, you're right. I do want to give Freeling a little bit of grace for being injured and being out there. They did try to go with Bo Hewley.
Oh,
so I'm not disagreeing with you. If you're too hurt to play, and who was it just talking about that whiff?
I was talking about Bo Hughley.
He said he whiffed that simple screen block, and people get mad. Why is he calling screens? The screen game works, especially when you can't block. You can't throw downfield when they can rush 4 and hit your quarterback like he stole something, like he's a red-headed. They were I haven't seen an ass kicking that bad since Aaron Murray was down there. I mean, they were just beating the shit out of Gunnar Stockton. And again, with a 4-man rush, you got 5 guys, and they're still killing your tackles. So they put Bo Hewley out there, and Bo is getting beaten. So my point is, a 60, 70, 80% Monroe Freeling seemed to be better than 100% Bo Hewley.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I agree with that. And you look out there at one point, and may have finished the game this way. You had Gaston and Glover playing next to each other on the right side. I mean, these guys aren't even, the ink isn't even dry on their high school diploma.
Yeah, they've started
a
last
game
two
like
games.
this. Yeah. I mean, it's I guess, it's the state of college football, right? I guess that's what we're told. But yeah, this team is manic, and like you said, the head guy himself said we're just not very good. I think there may be a little gamesmanship in there. I think they're a playoff team, and they may catch lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
But I don't. You just can't get. Here I am contradicting myself. I was just as angry as the next guy, but you really, at this point, you can't get angry in the first half anymore until they come out in the second half and lay an egg. You're just like, oh, okay. I mean, really, you think about it. It's who they are. It's who they are.
I have a stat for you. I'm looking it up real quick from our man. Where is it? Trent Small, excuse me. The last 3 SEC games for Georgia, they've allowed 48 points. Okay.
Yeah.
41 of those were in the first half.
Right.
They've given up 7 points in 3 second halves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're right.
Yeah.
If you're a member of UGAsports.com, you read my column. Hopefully you read my column on Friday.
Yeah.
The first thing I led with was first half Heisman's, because they make every quarterback they play look like a damn Heisman candidate in that first half. And they'd given up 200 yards in the first half, or right before that fumble. They're about to go down 17-0. And again, that's the defense and the offense, because it's really easy to crap all over the defense for just getting pummeled and giving, Auburn keeping the ball for 22 minutes. At the same time, you didn't get a lot of touches, and at one point you'd run 6 plays.
Well, right. It's for that defense is
6 or 7 plays on 4 on 2 possessions. I'm like,
to give up only 10 points after being out there for forever in the first half, and then
22 minutes on the field.
Yeah. And CJ Allen is ungodly. He probably had a lot to do with, how they played in the second half, and you never know. You never know, I guess, with these guys. But other than I do agree with.
Give me your positives, because you were crapping on the negatives. Let's hear the positive.
No, I'll say this, and it's well documented that I'm not a huge fan of our offensive coordinator. I thought he caught a great game tonight, especially some of those 4th down calls. I just, I think that went well, and the defense, the defense again looked horrible in the first quarter, but I don't think they scored after the first quarter. Right? It was 10-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, it was 20 unanswered points.
Yeah,
and never scored again.
So I like the young guy Noah Thomas. I thought he played well. Elias Williams has got to catch that ball. But I guess I'm being positive. But you have two freshmen playing on the right side of the line, and for the most part,
and he lined up on the right side too. So you had 3 side by side.
Yeah, I thought Cash Jones played well. He helped out definitely in the second half with the pass blocking. But yeah, it's a weird state of college football when Georgia's this manic, I guess you would say. But you watch TV all day today. Oklahoma was the same way today. Washington State almost beat Ole Miss. Like, it's just, I guess it's the state we live in. It's
Indiana
there's no
beat
more.
Oregon,
Yeah, Indiana beat Oregon. And Arkansas took Tennessee to the wire, so you just never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Well, I know
your thought. Last thing, was that a blindside block on your opinion? You called it as you see it. You've been very fair. You're critical when you need to be.
I think it was close, but I also think he didn't need to do it because he was by him already. That's the Colby Young play, right?
Yeah,
That was the Colby Young play. Hey, and I think too, and I'm going to go back and watch. I think that everybody's it's going to be funny that I think the referees were definitely not in their A game, but I think that Kirby was calling timeout to let them know that they were clapping. The defense was clapping to have the ball snapped.
Yeah.
That's what I want to believe. I don't think that he really would try to. Maybe he would. I don't know, but I think that's what he was doing.
He most certainly
But they
would.
screwed up by not. They screwed up by not giving it to him too, and they screwed up by having an invert. Why would you? If it's a fumble, if you ruled it a fumble, why did you blow the whistle and then talk about it?
Here's the thing, folks in the comments: has anybody gone back and watched that game, the TV version? Because our man did it right there during halftime. So we get out the laptop and we play the game and we're listening and we don't hear a whistle. And normally you can hear the whistles. You'll hear them whistle to play dead. And again, maybe the version that we were listening to, because he's watching it on his computer there, so that maybe when we went back and tried to listen to it, maybe we're missing something, but we could hear the guys talking. We could hear the grunts. We could hear all the slamming, guys running in, but we didn't hear a whistle. So
yeah. And you knew I shouldn't say I knew, but you had a good idea when they were taking so long. They were probably figuring out where to spot the ball.
Yeah.
But they screwed up. They screwed up that. They screwed up the timeout. I would say Auburn has an argument. I shouldn't say that they screwed up on the fumble because I still say you couldn't tell. When they called it a fumble on the field, you knew they weren't going to overturn it. But they did screw up the timeout, I feel like. And I do think that they should have charged him with a timeout.
Yeah, you're right.
So I appreciate you, man. I know it's late, but appreciate all y'all do. And a win is a win is a win, right?
Hey, they don't ask how, they ask how many.
That's it. That's it. Appreciate you.
I will see you, my friend.
That's it.
All right, I'm going to put up KC's point on there. He says these teams are throwing the kitchen sink at us in the first half. KC, you were absolutely right, especially when you have an extra week there to work out Georgia's scheme. And hey, these teams have Glenn Schumann down. They know what his defense is. I hate to say it, but the way they attacked the spaces that Georgia left, they obviously knew that when they bring that zone blitz, here's where they're going to come from. And that means we're going to work something into that area so that if they do come, we got it wide open. And that's why you saw that tight end in the B section of the field just killing Georgia. Oh, my God. All right, Jordan, let's get your thoughts.
So, I mean, just right away, when you say they know what Glenn Schumann's throwing at them, like, what's the change in the second half? Like, is that Kirby? Or, I mean, like, they know him for the first half, Schumann.
Well, if you're getting killed on zone blitzes, you stop doing that. Remember, then all of a sudden they ran an A-gap blitz, and that got home and killed the quarterback.
But why does it take a half to figure that out? I mean,
you don't always think
they had plenty of plays in the first half to make the adjustment, but I mean, I don't know. That's a genuine question.
I genuinely, I don't know. And if you ask Kirby, what adjustments did you make? He'll tell you with a straight face. And Kirby will sometimes lie, and sometimes more often than not, he will tell you the very hard truth. And it's a lot of times it's stuff you don't want to hear. Like the other day, he's like, when I think it was the Alabama game or one of the other games where the second half was so much different, he says, no, we didn't change stuff. We just did it better. We did it faster. We tackled better. We played our assignments better. We didn't change the calls. They weren't. And here's the thing: people think that they go in and they've seen Hollywood movies, and everybody gathers around the coach and he gets up on the whiteboard and he starts drawing things, and this is what we're going to do. That shit doesn't happen. A lot of it is the coach is saying, "Okay, we're going to call maybe something different here, or let's work on this." But it's very seldom that it's a huge. It's not a Hollywood movie, and sometimes, like in the Alabama game, they blitzed so much in the first half. They stopped in the second half. Yeah. He was killing you, Ty Simpson was, every time you blitzed. Hot route, over and over again. George's like, well, shit, that ain't working. And you got your game plan in place, and you think that it's going to work, but sometimes it takes it not working 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and you're like, okay, The tight ends. Somebody was talking about the tight ends earlier. Georgia went to the tight ends 9 times tonight. How many passes did they complete to the tight ends?
Maybe, 3? Oh, I didn't even look at you. I was just, 3. Okay.
And again, don't get me wrong. I'm the tight end public advocate.
My wife's always constantly. Yes.
But they were trying like hell to make that because it was open.
Yeah.
So at some point you're like, look, this is open. This should work. This was a bad throw. So let's call it again. This was he dropped this one. Let's call it again. In other words, it's like we're called the right play, but this guy's not executing it. At what point, as you're saying, do you just go, well, shit, we can call this all night, but it's not being executed, so we got to move on to something else.
Is that just stubborn? Kirby being stubborn a little bit, maybe. Sure.
Coaches don't like to switch your game plan because what have you practiced 150 times the entire week?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not easy to go in and say, "Hey, the stuff we didn't practice, let's start doing that."
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this: I know we got some other people, but I want you to stay on for a while. I was told before, and a lot of people were saying, "Radi, you're so down on this team." I'm like, I was told on Thursday, the scout team, the Georgia offensive scout team going against the Georgia's defense, went 7 of 7 on third downs. That's not good. That's not good. Kirby lost his mind and then came out and restarted practice. Your scout team is not as good as Auburn's going to be. And what did we see in the first half? What, 8 of 10 on third down, something like that?
It sounds par for the course at this point, but yeah, for sure.
So
I do.
It wasn't working Thursday. I don't know how much time do you have to fix it before Saturday?
Not much, because at that point they're probably walking through it. Shutting it down, walking through at that point. Yeah. I do want to give a shout out though for positives like the silent assassin, London Humphreys. Just big game, London Humphreys, man. That's just, I don't know where he comes from, but he just shows up when it matters most, I guess.
Baby.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I do wonder where he's literally from. I don't think he's from Nashville. So.
Didn't he grow up I think he's from Tennessee though, right?
I think he is. So I don't know. That's somebody look him up real quick and pop it in the section. But yeah, dude, he was money. And Zachariah Branch, last year had a drop issue. And our USC folks, when he came here, he goes, "Hey, y'all are gonna love him. He's a great interview. He's great on special teams, but he can't catch." I'm like, what are you talking about? The guy was a freshman All-American. He's like, "Oh yeah, go back and look. He was a freshman All-American. He had 700 yards at return yards, but he couldn't catch. And last year he dropped everything. He was money tonight.
Yes, sir.
Absolute money. So you mentioned one transfer. He's the second one.
Think about how many transfers tonight at catching the ball made a difference. Everybody that's a receiver.
Yeah.
Noah Thomas was the clutch catch. I was so glad to see 5 catch the ball. But 16, 5, 1, 8. It was. Dylan Bell even tried to throw one a ball. That's
that was the worst damn throw.
It was wide open. Nobody was there wasn't a blue jersey near him.
So, do you play football? God damn.
Oh, that killed me. I was just like, there it is. There it is.
He knew it too. He knew it. He's like,
oh.
And they had it. They had it last week. We saw it.
They did.
They remember the one he ran in? And Coach John.
Oh yeah, that's what I was asking about. I was like, was that supposed to be a throw option? Because
Delp
was not blocking. He was running a route. Yeah, that was. I guess maybe next time that will be a run. No, but
yeah. So,
oh man,
and he's done it before. He's thrown a touchdown. So
yeah. But I do think we got to get a new kicker. We can't be missing 1 out of every 40-something attempts. All right.
I want to point out that, I said the game would come down to Georgia would win with its kicking game. I thought that game was going to end 13-10.
Yeah, I did too. Just could not just the defense was bending but not breaking. But I didn't know Peyton. Was glad that got back out there and just sent the extra point right down the middle after missing that kick. And hopefully
that 52-yarder.
Oh, that was
changed the. All of a sudden, Georgia has the lead after and Auburn quit.
Yeah,
the fans quit. There, somebody in the press box. Okay, now here's the thing that ticks me off. You shouldn't have fans in the press box. And you shouldn't have Homer media in the press box.
Yep.
I was raised that you just don't do that. So behind our guys on press row, somebody else on press row is like, "Here comes the meltdown. We're going to lose 27-10." You know, I'm like, wait, who are we? You're not part of the team. You're supposed to be a reporter. You know.
Yeah.
It was 20-10. So
yeah, it's close.
Everybody felt it, and I thought Dayne made a good point, saying, going off the field, Q Freeze is in his mind. I can't believe they did that to us. Kirby's like, well, shit, and he's done that when they've gotten their butts kicked by more.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we? He's thinking forward. Hugh's looking back, and Hugh starts calling a completely different game.
He was fighting demons internally. He did not even what was on the field. You could tell he was trying to fight it. But that's what it makes it that much sweeter to me. I can't stand the guy. I don't imagine Kirby's a fan of him either with how he handles his business. But it's always makes it that much sweeter to me.
Yeah. Again, Kirby Smart has not lost them since 2017. I need to have what is that? AI chat GPT or something, just ask it how many days has it been since Kirby Smart has lost to Auburn.
That's a lot. What is that? 2017. That's what.
Yeah.
I'm not good.
Y'all beat him in 2017, so that's
that's true. It kind of offsets it for sure.
And I'm like, that's pretty damn good. He's got 9 in a row against Tennessee as well. That's wild.
Man, oh man. But no, it's I don't know. KJ Bolden seemed a little quiet tonight, but I guess that's not a very bad thing if your safety's not getting a lot of action. But
no,
it seemed pretty quiet. And
Georgia they did so much. They threw a lot of stuff short.
Yeah, which he was already doing that before.
Yeah,
he had the fewest yards per attempt, and it is. Yeah. Still would like to see him get home a little more. After Oklahoma got to him 10 times, but they know that. It's like there's a reason he's dumping it quickly as it is. So it's like this game, I wasn't as worried about that because I've had a feeling that it would just be kind of what we saw with not holding on to it long.
Yeah, Georgia got 1 sack.
Yeah. It was a beautiful sack, though.
It was a bone crusher.
I still think Gunnar got hit harder on that sack up the middle. God,
CJ Allen ran through a man.
Yeah, he did. He did.
CJ Allen with 10 total tackles, 6 by himself, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 pass breakup. And I know the sack was cool, but pass breakups by your inside linebackers are more rare than even sacks.
Yeah.
Or they have been, at least for these guys. And if he can do that, that carries over to facing DJ Lagway, Arch Manning, Trinidad Chambliss, Haynes King, because they love to throw against linebackers in coverage. So I'm more excited about that than I am even the sack, although the sack was destructive.
It was just it's rare with this group, so we gotta celebrate them when we get them.
And that also takes the wind out of the sails of the fans. Again, that 52-yard field goal, people go, well, it's 3 points that gave them the lead. They can, and then he missed the next one. They can tie it or they can score to go ahead. But again, what it did to the mindset of the Auburn players and the fans and the coaches, that sack
and the team as a whole.
Was a dagger, yes.
They had to just.
We can get to these sons of bitches, and then all of a sudden they start dropping guys left and right. They start covering like maniacs. It's just.
I just couldn't believe the difference in first half, second half. Just like the O-line, just doing what they did. it was scary at first. I'm just like, dear Lord, this is gonna be a long night. Like, I know normally this is how it goes first quarter, but I mean, they were in Gunner's face often, and it just like the difference the first half to the second half was just again, I don't know what takes so long.
I was thinking we're going to see 41-10.
Yeah,
I'm thinking Georgia can't stop them, and Georgia can't score.
no, could not.
This is going to be one of the. This is going to be that Ole Miss game, Kirby's first year. This is going to be that 2017 Auburn beatdown of Georgia. This is going to be one of his worst losses because they look. We were trying to figure out different words for like discombobulated. Is it disheveled? I mean, Georgia just looked out of sorts. Guys going wide open. Georgia's not being able to block. Couldn't break a tackle to save your life. Couldn't make a pass. Gunner's running for his life, and like you said, just getting rocked.
Yeah.
And then Georgia had 3 pass interference penalties, 2 on defense, 1 on offense. I'm like, you gotta call for offensive pass interference. Come on, man. So but then I don't say cooler heads prevailed, but they stopped doing it. And then all of a sudden, Auburn starts making mistake after mistake after mistake.
Yeah.
How many penalties? Did they wind up with 9, 10 penalties?
It was over 100 yards. I know that. I don't remember the number of penalties, but I know it added up to like 103 or something like that.
Yeah.
10 for 103, but it's just
11 for 90.
I must have missed something, or there must be something not added on there.
But
either way, it's almost the length of the field.
Yeah, exactly. Georgia had 6 for 60, which is much better. But
no, but I think the Cash one was a little questionable. But
yeah,
I don't know if it was just because nobody was home after he hit him.
Andrew Wagner. I literally told my wife before they fumbled the goal line, this was going to be our worst game of the season. We looked like total garbage, but it changed the whole momentum. It did. And
100% it did. Especially after what happened what happened to Auburn at Oklahoma too.
Yeah.
You just knew they're just like pouting and here we go again. And what was us? And did not make that adjustment.
Oh, good point from JT Thomas. Gunnar, no turnovers.
There were a couple. He tried. He tried.
Hey, Georgia dropped a couple too. So
yes, they did for sure. But
Jermaine King says Gunner's tough. He takes a beating. Well, you saw in that first drive against Kentucky, he got hit twice.
I still think he's one of those guys that he's got to get popped a couple times.
Yeah,
that's just. I don't have a problem with him scoring late like that. Since
he's
it's
a crazy son of a bitch from the program who slaps himself, and puts his head through a car window and then runs out of the field ready to kill somebody. He's he's tough. Hey, dude, he's Raven.
Yep.
Tiger.
So what? I mean, at this point, what you can't say like what do we have to change at this point? But like I feel like what we've got is kind of what we've got. But what next week? I mean, what scares you the most? I guess
Trinidad Chambliss running.
Yep. All right.
So he drops back and it's pass and then he just takes off. And he's so fast. It's who's the Alabama QB last year? Milroe. He's Jalen Milroe.
Is he as big as Milroe?
No, he's fast. But he's quick, shifty, tough to get a hold of, and they love. If anybody knows how to watch the film, see what your tendencies are, and gash the crap out of you, it's Ole Miss's head coach. He's just.
Now, their defense
can get you, man. He can. So
their defense is not as good as last year's defense.
No,
right? So that's what I feel like. That gives me confidence.
They didn't look great today.
No, they did not. I don't know. I'm guessing they were sleepwalking through that, looking forward to coming to Athens. But no, I think that Chambliss running the ball does worry me. But I think their defense is a lot more vulnerable for sure. We are. Absolutely.
Cal says we're going to beat them by 3 scores. Georgia could actually come out and they had that Texas game last year. Remember?
I did not see that coming.
And every once in a while, you get turnovers on their side of the field, and the other team just quits on us. Like, well, we're not coming back. But then Omari, who gave us a nice super chat on the other show, says we are who we are, and this is who you are. This is why I was so people have been asking there, why are you so down? I'm like, because I know how bad the defense is. And I thought the offense was going to be a lot better. The offense disappointed the hell out of me today, but I thought it wouldn't be that bad on the offensive line. But
yeah, I did. I mean, I would like to see. Could have, should have, would have, but the left side was not great. Obviously, Monroe was banged up, and Hughley's not a starter. But it's like it could have, should have, would have. I mean, I would love to see what could have been, kind of thing, with a healthy O line. But
Caleb
still keep improving. Oh, there he is.
2,876 days since Kirby lost to Auburn.
That sounds way cooler. That sounds way cooler.
Caleb, I'm going to have to steal that and put it out on Twitter. I'll probably get 1,000 retweets. God bless. 2,876 days.
That's awesome. Oh man, I think we can still get better though. Improve. I'm not saying we're not gonna be night and day different, but I think we can definitely continue to improve.
Yeah, and Johnny says that Gunnar's missing his wide receivers that are coming open. He's checking down too quick. That may be true, but that is something that's correctable. Your senior leader at cornerback getting called for 2 different pass interference calls, slamming a guy on the ground. That's who you are. That's not going to improve. I don't see that changing. Yeah. Your Monroe Freeling, he gets healthy. And when that line was healthy, you give Gunnar time. He picks these teams apart.
Yeah.
A couple times he tries to rifle it in there like he's trying to knock them
down.
A
couple times tonight. It's like, dude,
it's not a carnival game. It's not knock over the pins, win a QB ball. Dude, just fucking throw it.
You're trying to throw the wiffle ball into the bucket that keeps that's what some of those throws need to be like that, not the knock the milk carton things over.
Yeah, the milk crates. Yeah, so again, that you can fix. Juan Gaston will get better on the right side. Dontrell Glover will get better on the right side. Yes. Elias Williams will get better. Oscar Delp is Oscar Delp. He's not getting any better.
No.
He's Lawson Lucky, And
but I think some of that
they're serviceable, they're good, but they're not. They miss blocks.
Yeah, and some of that with Gunnar, I think being a little quick to check down is because of the inconsistency of the O-line. I don't think it's all Gunnar. I think it's just
he doesn't think he has time.
Yeah, I mean he's adapting to his surroundings, and at least it's something instead of trying to force something or take the sack. So I do get frustrated with that too, because it's like just even tonight, like he panicked when he was about to get sacked and he got away, and Oscar was like throwing his hand up like I'm here, but he was already like he was looking to get anywhere but stay in that pocket, and it was just.
You get hit that many times.
Exactly. I mean, you're proving my point. I completely understand. It's like we can see it from the TV screen that Oscar's wide open, but when you see blue lasers flying around you, I don't blame him. But
and I thought that when Kay and Lee got tossed for targeting, that also changed that's the
he was flying around early in the game. He was definitely flying around. I know. I remember that. What did he play with? Christian Miller? Was he? Did he go to school? Cedar Grove. Yeah. I thought that's what it was, but he was flying around tonight.
Yeah, he's pretty good. All right, let me bring on
my before you bring him on. Last week, it went mute. So if I lose you again, I'll just hop off. But hopefully it doesn't happen.
Weirdo. JC,
what's up?
There it is.
Thoughts, my friend.
Man, we don't have a great team, but I don't think there's a lot of great teams in college football. And
good point.
At the end of the day, we have Kirby Smart, so you can win games like this with him. But I don't like our chances against Ole Miss, and I just think overall there's going to be a team that's going to step on your throat and finish you off. I have too much of a sample size now with this team to know they're just going to start slow every time. And it's crazy. I can understand it with the offensive line. You have 3 freshmen. They're seeing stuff for the first time. DJ Durkin had a really good game plan. And then you go back at half, kind of talk about it. And they were great that second half. And Bobo could actually call plays. I know people were probably bitching at Bobo in the first half, but what plays do you call when your quarterback has no time to throw and you can't run the ball?
All 6 plays.
Yeah. And so I think Bobo took over there. Those conversions that he manufactured there, because we couldn't convert a third down. So I think that was a Bobo job, and then Kirby kind of taking over defensively. But it's just so weird watching this team being Jekyll and Hyde. It's crazy.
You're right. It's I think Jekyll and Hyde. I'm probably gonna steal that from my next column. I like that because that was. I hate the cliche "a tale of two halves," but have you ever seen a stronger delineation from the 29 minutes to the 31st minute, the last minute of the first half? It almost looked like Auburn was playing a high school team. I don't know if did you guys ever when you were playing high school football, did you ever have like the 8th or middle school guys come over and play against you so that they could play up? They could you try to be careful with them, but you let them go against somebody bigger so that when they went and played their game, they would be better, and you would let them kind of and you could use them as almost a scout team, just, hey, stand out here. We're not going to hit you, but we need to for formations and stuff. That's what it felt like. It felt like Auburn was going up against Auburn High School. And then all of a sudden, with 1 minute left, you get the fumble thing. And George is like, oh, shit, we got to play. Oh, yeah, we're better than you. We don't lose to you. And mentally, something just completely changed. And they're hitting and tackling and sacking and knocking down passes. And then Hugh Freeze is calling runs up the middle. I'm like, dude. And I get it. They moved Georgia's guys out a little bit. But then you just hit him in the B gaps. He's going off A. Wait, what? Right? You're going right at Christian Miller? You think that's a good idea? You're going right at Josh Horton, Xavier McLeod? You think they're going to miss? And then you saw the Gunnar in the second half. That last drive, the way he's handing the ball off, and the holes that the offensive line opened up in the run game. Some of those were really pretty, and Georgia was just a hair breadth away from breaking off some huge runs. And then they were looking at third down, and Mike called up some good stuff. I still wish Dylan Bell had hit that pass. God.
To me too. God.
Well,
I do love that fourth down play whenever they Gunnar rolled out and just flipped it to Frazier. And he
tried to fumble that one.
Yeah, I mean, that was you're talking about that's the pitch. I'm talking about the one that he rolled out and just fourth down play. That's what Bama did at the end to seal it. I'm just like, I love that play call. I don't know if they took that from that or if they've actually worked on that, but I really like that.
They were expecting it's 4th and 2. You're like,
yeah,
they've got a running quarterback, so they focused on him, and nobody went out there with him.
They ran it like 3 times in the fourth quarter, and it was a great play each time. But Roddy, I gave you guys this stat on the show with Coach Donnan that our top 2 receivers only had 39 less yards on the year than their top 2 receivers. And their top 2 receivers today went 10 for 64, and our Branch and Colby, they went for 12 for 101. So I don't think there's any question that Georgia has receivers that you can rely on. That was a question, and everyone was pissed about that last year. I think you got guys this year.
Absolutely.
I hate saying you're playing yourself when I was mentioning Georgia and Auburn, but it did feel like, okay, you've got a running quarterback who has a lot of doubt. People doubt him a lot. I say he's not a running quarterback. He's a quarterback who can run, that first drive, the kid ran it 4 times for Auburn. So, and a week ago for Georgia, when they actually got off to a fast start against Kentucky, 3 of those plays on that drive where they scored 75 yards were quarterback runs. Sometimes it's a scramble, but he gives you the option. 2 good wide receivers on both sides. Yeah. Questionable offensive line. Yes. Very good against the run. Yes. Very poor against passing. They're within 4 yards of each other, and how many yards they give up per game through the year. It really felt like they were facing each other. Questionable coaching decisions. Yes. So I was like, when I was thinking about it, I'm like, which quarterback is not – it's not what will they do to win it, but what will they do to not screw it up? And one of them fumbled on the goal line. One of them completed third and
dove over the goal line.
That's what you get.
One went Superman. One went, where's the damn ball? Anybody seen it?
And that's what happens when you have Kirby Smart versus Hugh Freeze.
Bingo.
Hugh
I was
Freeze,
just about to say that.
they fumble the ball and absolutely tailspin. Kirby's teams they're just nuts and guts. At the end of the day, they're super flawed, but they're nuts and guts, and it doesn't matter what bowl they're in.
Yeah. No, you nailed it. You're dead on there.
I'm clapping for what you said.
He's wrong for that. Kirby's
That's
wrong.
that'll be the new thing. When somebody says a good point, this is Kirby Smart's class, and it's really loud.
Yeah.
I told Paul, Andy, and Eddie that they're calling a flag next play no matter what, and then they called the cash play. That wasn't a blindside block. He just rocked the dude, but they were calling a flag no matter what after Kirby did him dirty like that.
Can we get some love for Cash Jones after the shitstorm that he took after the Alabama game?
Always.
He made that play to let them go for it on 4th down. He got those 4 yards. I think that was the most important play.
And he made that guy miss. I didn't think he was gonna make him miss, and he sure did. He got upfield in a hurry after he made a miss too.
And Josh
3 catches,
McCray,
19 yards. It's not a ton, but the dude, one of them was a 7-yarder. He was there.
Well, same thing with McCray. I
thought
thought
a couple blocks too. He laid out some blocks. So,
well, we're on the goal line, and McCray, if he doesn't get that first down run, we're punting it back to Auburn, and that set up that 85-yard drive. So I know we couldn't run the ball, but that run was huge, and every running back did make a play. That won them the game.
Yeah.
And I got nothing against Peanut, but I want to stick with the big boys in this one.
Yep.
And Nate Frazier gets the start. Chauncey Bowens played some. Glad to see him get a touchdown, but going with McCray. And if you're going to bring in a guy who's going to be that kind of speedster, not a wham back, not a Josh McCray, not a power runner like Chauncey Bowens, not a elusive guy like Nate Frazier, I kind of want to see Cash Jones because it's the threat of pass. And when he takes off, watch the defense. They send the guy with him because you don't know if he's a receiver or a running back, and it makes the defense change. So when he's in the game, you have to count for him differently than you do if it's Chauncey Bowens.
He can't hide.
Chauncey Bowens runs out to the flat. No one goes out there. They're like, staying up to him.
Yeah.
So
he's not hiding from anybody on running back.
Just like you use James
like Zach Branch. Why do you need Peanut really when you got a guy like Zach Branch that you can give him the ball behind the line of scrimmage and say, hey, just do something with it.
Well, and even Bell's done
enough. Throwing screens.
Colby Young trucking
some of the screens that didn't work tonight were just missed blocks. It wasn't anything that Branch didn't do, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, you could tell it was right there. They were right there from it going however far it was going to go.
Missed a block. Monroe Fraley missed one. Colby Young missed a block. I mean, you can go down the list. Everybody missed one. And that's what kills you. Hang on a second. Let's add on the man, the myth, the legend, Paul Meharry. He's going to join us. But we're not. Hi, Paul.
There he is.
Did your wife say you stay up late?
Yeah, no, I'm going to definitely regret this in the morning. But what a crazy game, boys. First, so what? Roddy, you'll get a kick out of this. I went over to Jay Tate's channel and said, "Hey, let me on."
We did too. At halftime.
I texted him, and he said this would not be good for my show. This would be like a bomb going off. And I said, "Look, I'll be reasonable, Jay." He wouldn't let me on, so I went to the War Report guys and I said, "Let me on," and they did. I said, "Look, man, there's going to be a 50-50 split on if that was a touchdown or a fumble." And it just depends on what color glasses that you wear. I think the ball was coming out before it was punched out, and thus it was a fumble. If it was a fumble, Kyron Jones should have scored a touchdown. I think. I do also think, and we didn't see it in the replay. Kirby touched Kyron as he was running down the field, like telling him to like keep going. So it would have been a penalty. It would have been a penalty, so it wouldn't have been a touchdown anyway. So for the Georgia fans, thinks it would have been a penalty or a touchdown rather. I think it would have been a penalty anyways.
Would have been
JC
on the
made
one though.
it correct. But also I think you play that a little differently because what ended up happening was Josh McCray took that ball out for 12 yards and you were able to go get a field goal out of it. Sloppy game, very sloppy game. Second half, and JC, I'm just going to say it. JC's in a text group with me. He took my Jekyll and Hyde, Roddy. So if you take that, that's from me. That's not from JC. That's from me.
No
That's
way.
not from JC.
Well, which JC? We got 2 JCs on here.
James Caraway, the one that just keeps popping out babies like myself. The Jekyll and Hyde came from me, but I'll give it to JC. You can give it to him. Anyways, I think this game was I think it's fun in the moment, but there are some real concerns with this football team.
Yeah.
So it's fun to win this game and fun to come back, but at the end of the day, I think there are some real concerns. You need to get the ball into Colby Young and Zach Branch's hands as much as you possibly can. Those two guys are game changers.
We'll sprinkle on 16 every now and then.
Little sprinkle if you want to, yeah, right.
Sprinkle on 86.
That I think, and Roddy, you've always been one to defend Bobo tirelessly, if you will. You had. Don't act like you haven't. Don't act like you haven't. We've been doing this show together for 5 years now.
And you've been lying for 5 years.
Tonight, Bobo was in his bag, and there should look. If you want to start hating on a coordinator, and I don't want to do this, I think it's the other guy. It's not the OC. It's not the OC.
I've been saying for 5 weeks.
And you can see a complete difference in this team when the second half begins, because it's almost like, and I don't know if this to be fact or true or not, it's almost like Kirby says, look, I'm calling this effing defense and get up out my way. I've given you your chance. It's almost like you've got your 16-year-old and you're like, hey, I'm gonna let you drive, but you've hit too many curbs. So now get over in the passenger seat and let dad
home from here.
Yeah, let Papa take us home, and that's what it feels like, dude, because it's a completely different, you're not putting any different players out there, but they look completely different in the second half. So how do you change that? What do you take away Schumann's responsibilities? I don't know if you can do that, but it looks like a completely different team. I'm sure Kirby can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
but it looks like a completely different team in the second half. I think Auburn pissed down their leg in this game, and 100,000% should have won this game. It should have been 17-0. That was a miraculous punch out, that it wasn't a touchdown there, and I don't think Georgia has any chance of scoring before the half. It's 17-0 at the half, and it's a completely different ball game. But that's not what happened. Georgia punched the ball out and was able to get back. So you walk away with a win out of we've said it. You saw it in the score predictions from all the guys at UGA Sports. Jordan Hare is a freaky place to play at night. We've seen it over and over again. And guess what? This time it went against the home team. The penalties, all the stuff that when you watch these games being played at Jordan Hare goes the Tigers' way, it went Georgia's way. And that's what happened. Do I think this is a playoff team? Probably, yeah. Do they have major holes to fill? Sure. Are they getting better? Absolutely. You have multiple freshmen on the offensive line. Defensive line, who the hell knows? I think the only way Josh Horton's getting better. You're getting Elijah Griffin more meaningful reps, but the only way you're able to the only way you're able to sack quarterbacks is if you're bringing a linebacker blitz, which Auburn was able to counter that in the first half and just throw it to where Georgia was blitzing from.
Yeah,
it was almost like Auburn completely. I guess it boils down to coaching. Hugh Freeze went into the locker room at the half, almost cost himself 50 grand talking to the reporter, talking about how the officials suck.
One of these days will go our damn way one time.
Right. And he went
time.
and you know he went into the locker room. How many officials are on a college football field? 8, 9, whatever. It's 20 versus 11 out there, boys. We're gonna have to go out there and beat the Stripes and Georgia. You know, da 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 da. Meanwhile, Kirby went in there and said, "Hey, here's the game plan, guys. This is what they're doing to us," and they were able to come over it. Ole Miss is looking forward. Ole Miss is a much better offensive team. I think it's
not as good defensively though.
Not correct. Not as good defensively. So I don't know. I think it's one of those where it's a week by week, and I think it's fun. You know, if you're a college football fan watching this game, that's what I said on the War Report. It was a fun game to watch. You had 39 minutes in between seeing Booger McFarland's face saying, all right, we're at the 2-minute warning, to when they finally came back on. 39 minutes. And it was fun, man. It was fun. It was a wild time. You know, and if the people saying a playoff team question mark, I saw that.
Yeah.
What teams are playoff teams? Miami, Ohio State, Indiana,
Alabama. I'll throw Alabama in there. I'll
Yeah,
throw
you-
Alabama in there. But
yeah,
then,
you've got 8 more spots.
exactly.
That anything, the ball can roll anyway. So I'm on 2%. I'm about to die. That's all I had to say.
All right, we appreciate it, Paul. We'll talk to you later.
See you guys.
Go get some sleep. I want to show you guys this picture real quick. Nice little photo there from our Catherine Skeen. Beautiful shot. I actually said when he dove in the end zone there, because Coach Don was like, get out. And I'm like, and he dives into, I'm like, Coach, why are you hating on him? Let him score.
I know.
Technically, he should have gone down and just
I lost Radi.
knee.
That's a badass picture, though.
But I wanted to, being the team photographer for 12 years, I'm like,
I can't hear
somebody. I hope I was out, because you always have to like basically pick a corner. If you want a shot like this, you have to be on the right side or left side. And if he does it to the opposite side, you're effed. You know, you're like, son of a bitch. So you're always hoping that they score on your side. My shot of Terry Godwin at Notre Dame catching the ball in his fingertips.
That was a great
Got
one.
my spot, and I realized that where the line judge was going to be, or the back judge.
He can't hear Radi. Oh, crap.
Do what? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Roddy.
Okay.
I can hear you, JC, but not Radi. I'll
got
hop off and
Yeah,
see
well,
if
if
I can get back on if you want. If not, I'm.
Roddy, with that, what's funny is that Kirby got in his ass like he did with Stetson, and
yes, he did.
But he would never yell at Beck that way, which I think is very telling on how he wants to coach his quarterbacks and what he feels about Gunnar. He knows that he could yell.
Beck would have told him to pound sand.
Yeah.
Not Beck. Stetson would have said that, but you're right. He would never yell at Beck. Beck would have. Yeah, he couldn't take it.
No, he would start crying.
Yeah, I need to real quick mention our friends Bart Benton at Benton Attorneys at Law. They do car accidents, daycare injuries, truck injuries, premises liability, nursing home abuse, medical malpractice, and wrongful death. This guy has collected over $58 million for his clients in 2024. And again, if you've had somebody, nursing home abuse is one you don't see a lot of people advertising for, but that happens. I have seen this firsthand. It is freaking awful. And there are people who are unqualified taking care of your loved ones in nursing homes. And sometimes they, I don't want to say kill them, but through neglect, your parents, grandparents get hurt badly. And that needs to be handled. So reach out to Bart Benton. Be smart. Call Bart. It's get a free consultation. It doesn't cost you anything to reach out to him. Okay, it's not going to say, "Oh, you want to talk to a really good lawyer who's collected damn near $60 million." Yeah, our hours are first call $750. No, it's a free consultation. Do it right off the bat, and he'll let you know. They're in Monroe, Georgia. They're also in Monticello, but you see Covington, Walton, Loganville, Snellville. They will go wherever you are, though. So that's when they say locations. That's like where they're out the most. But if you're up in Rome and you need them, call them. They'll come. So if you have any sorts of injuries, be smart. Call Bart. Get Benton and Benton attorneys. They're in Monroe on your side, and you will have a powerful, powerful advocate who is really, he's a bright guy. I hate people that are that damn smart. It just makes me really jealous. It really does. All right, let's bring on Heath Fox. I want to get Heath. He was on earlier, and I came on, and he ran away because he knew I was going to make fun of him for some shit. So, all right, Heath, I missed your takes earlier. So if you have some, don't say the same old shit that you normally do. Come up with something new and tell us what impressed you, what you like, or what do you think about what we've been saying.
I'm going to tell you what I told Dayne earlier. I'm going to have to go to the altar tomorrow morning. I've said a few things.
I'm walking down. We're doing an altar call.
I'm walking down first thing in the morning. No, there's a couple things that I got. Well, first off, you were asking earlier where London Humphreys was from. He's from Nashville.
He is from Nashville. Okay.
He is from Nashville. So he came from, obviously, he transferred from Vanderbilt. But you look at Auburn's defense, and you look at who they've played. They played a number 5, a number 6, and a number 10, us. The only team to beat them by 10 is Georgia.
Good point.
So, I mean, if you look at it like that, you look at Auburn's defense, and you're like, okay, we stopped them. We stopped them on the offensive side. We only gave up 10 points, and like you said earlier, they didn't score after the first quarter. So you look at that, and you're like, maybe Auburn's defense is a little better than what we're giving them, right? I mean, as Georgia fans, we obviously want to score. I want to score 40 points a game. But you come in and you play these defenses that are really good in the SEC at night. It's a tough game, guys. It's a tough game. I'm very, very glad that we got Branch from USC. Three names that I really like: Young, Branch, and Bowens. Those are 3 guys that I think are the core of the offense. Guys that I like seeing Gunnar go to. So I like Gunnar. He's tough. He's a mountain boy like myself, and I just think mentally this team is tough. And you'll have games like this. Kentucky 2 years ago when we won by 1 point. We won 13-12 at Kentucky at night. These are games that just test you mentally.
Hey, to go back to Georgia 2022 national champion team, one of the best teams I've ever fielded. Georgia, Kentucky, 9-6.
9-6. You just got games like that, Radi. You just got games like that.
You're right. You're right, 100%.
So, and then you see them bounce back and play an Ole Miss number 4 team next week, and you might win by 14, 21. It's just it's and especially this year with NIL, the format has changed so much. Like y'all said earlier, you've seen Oregon lose today. You've seen Oklahoma lose to Texas. Texas lost to Florida by a lot. And it's just I don't know. It's a week to week thing. It's a week to week thing. And so
here's the thing that I'm with you there. It is week to week, and we talk about the parity, and we talk about the fact that you can start out getting your butts kicked and then come back, and vice versa.
Yeah.
If you're an Auburn fan, you've lost to 2 top 10 teams on the road by pretty much 1 score. And you got hosed at Oklahoma. I mean, the SEC had to come out and apologize for you getting jobbed at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And you're like, you have the best first half of your lives. And like you said, after the first quarter, they don't score again. And you just retired Cam Newton's laptop. You were just this is your night. Everybody's watching you around the country. You see Clay Travis going, I've never seen somebody get destroyed this bad as what we're seeing in Georgia's defense in the first half. Georgia's defense gave up 10 points. How do you think the Auburn fans are handling this.
Oh
This was their bounce back game. Their backs were against the wall, like Florida's last week against Texas. They, like you said, you don't know what's coming. Sometimes it is just pure emotion, and teams play up and down. Georgia played up and down. What's going through the Auburn fans' mindset right now? I mean, did this game lose it for Hugh Freeze? Is he out now?
They're dead.
Yeah. I mean,
what's attendance like the rest of the year?
Yeah, they have Missouri coming in next week. Another tough game.
And they just lost. They're going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
Their backs are against the wall now.
We did the same thing to Bama, though. Held them scoreless in the second half. But when you play good teams like Bama, you don't win that game. So I'm not going to get too excited about Auburn. SEC, every game's tough. You know, they did the same thing against Tennessee, too. But you give Lane, you spot him 10 points and on the goal line, ready to go up 17, you don't come back and beat Lane. You can do that against Hugh Freeze, but not against Ole Miss.
And speaking of Hugh Freeze, I've never been a coach. I've never coached a football game in my life, but I have been a player. And I've never given a pregame speech, and I've never given a halftime speech, but I've been a part of one. And Hugh Freeze, I think, brought the players down. I mean, look at his halftime. Look at his halftime report. Go watch it. I mean, the guy was pissed off. And like y'all were saying earlier, he went in and said, hey, it's 20 against 11 out here, guys, you know. And Kirby Smart went in and said, hey, listen, this is what we got to do. This is what we got to do. Let's fix it. Let's do this better. And I thought Hugh Freeze's head was going to blow off there for a minute. Honestly, it was kind of comical for me. But
dude, he was about to choke on anger, you know. And he started to say some shit. He started to go off.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I mean, you can see him. He's like, I'm going to swallow that $50,000 fine.
I mean, they were giving us the ass beating of a lifetime, and it was halftime, and they were only up by 7 points. Yeah. Like, what are you supposed to feel? Like, it was crazy. That was a close game. Both halves were absolute blowouts, just one way or another.
For sure.
We do have the Hugh Freeze postgame comments up at UGAsports.com. You can check out what he had to say. We also have the Kirby Smart presser. I mean, there's questions about the timeout. There's questions about, you know, fumbles. There's question about why can't your defense stop anybody? Why can't your offense block anybody? But, hey, Kirby, how did you win by 10 on the road in the SEC? This is why I don't know if I can do 5 more of these games. We're halfway through the season. Georgia's 5-1. They've lost 1 game by 3 points. But this team feels so flawed and so dangerous. And you're like, God, you should be 3-3, you know, but you're 5-1. And I don't know if I can go through these emotions again with Ole Miss next week. And then you know DJ Lagway and Florida, they're not going to play like, you know, goats and, you know, 3-legged goats. When Georgia comes down, they play different against them. And they want revenge after Lagway got hurt last year. Then you got to play Texas. Arch Manning, they won. They beat a very good Oklahoma team. So then you're going to have Haynes King. They're going to be undefeated. Georgia Tech's going to be undefeated when they come to town, or when Georgia faces them in the Mercedes-Benz.
Mississippi State on the road is not going to be easy.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what the 5th one. Yeah, that gets good. So you've got.
But this team
this is. I don't. We're gonna have to drink a lot of Hunker bourbon.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we're young though, right? I mean, we're young. We're injured. We're hurt. We're young. We're all these things, and.
But here's the thing. That's what gives me hope about the team, because you are young, absolutely, but your senior leadership has some issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of our first guests on earlier was saying, look, Monroe Freeling has got to make his blocks. Dalen Everett got called for 2 different penalties. You know, Oscar Delp misses a block. Micah Morris misses a guy. He doubles the 3-eye and leaves his B gap to his left wide open. They come in with a linebacker or corner blitz there and just kill your quarterback. Dude, you know if you double down, you got to. I mean, hell, I'm not saying it's a trail technique, but there are techniques where you got to feel if somebody's coming through there. They see you abandon it and they shoot through. They're reading you. So it's sometimes your bigger, your more experienced players have not been stepping up. Gunnar's just going to get better. This is seventh start, and this is, and think about the year that your first year versus your second year as a QB. Look how Carson Beck looks great
for sure. And I think he came in the SEC
Stetson Bennett from year 1 to year 2. Come on, year 2 they went undefeated. He looked the mastery that he had of that offense. So he's going to get better, but you're Elias Williams, you can't drop that pass, son. And then Noah Thomas goes up with one hand on a sideline route. Should have had that.
Colby jumps too early.
Colby jumps. It's like, come on, guys. And so I'm with you there. You are young, and those guys will get better. But at some point, your senior leadership needs to lock their shit down and stop messing up.
Yeah.
Well, what does Donnan have to say, like with the defense? Christian Miller, I mean, I see him whiffing on tackles in the first half, comes back in the second half like a new man. I can understand the O-line. I don't understand how the defense can go from being so bad to looking completely different, so good in the second half of these games.
The man coached for practically 60 years, and he'll tell you, he said after the game was over, he goes, "That was the goddamnest game I've ever seen." Excuse my language, but and he'll say the same thing that I do. He's like, "Yeah, we're not good." He talks to Kirby, he talks to Schumann, he goes over there, he sees those guys, and he was calling. I won't say he's calling out coaches because they're compatriots, they're colleagues, they respect each other. But he will say that was a bad play, especially like a first down call. He's like, why did we roll out to the flat there? That was a bad play. Why did we run that? And in the first half, he's like, "Shoo, they got you scouted." Talking to Schumann, he's like, "You're gonna have to do something different." They got your plan down. So the question you're asking earlier, or excuse me, that Jordan was asking earlier, when do you change the scheme? Do you have to wait till halftime to change it? And again, I don't know the answer to that, but there were times that he's very frank about when it's a good call. And Mike will tell you, Mike Bobo will say, "Hey, that was a bad call," And that's my thing when people accuse me of defending Mike Bobo, and I say, look, I'm the last person to defend him because the best thing for my business would be for him to be fired or let go. I'd love to have a coaching search, man. There's nothing better. But when you dial up a play like the Dylan Bell pass, and he throws it like he's never played football before, that's a good play call. It didn't work. That's on him. Or you dial this great thing up. Your guy scrambles. He throws it to Colby Young. Colby Young's looking at first and goal, and Cash Jones gets called for a blindside block. I'm like, damn it, I'll blame the players when the players screw up, and I'll blame the play calls when the play calls are bad. And that first half, it was both sides, top to bottom, just a garbage time, a garbage game, garbage scheme, garbage call, garbage execution. And then all of a sudden, after that fumble, they could do no wrong.
What were we, 0-5 on third downs or 0-6? And it came down to third down completion,
Well, yeah, we're tied
I
at
don't think you compared the third down to the second half, did you?
Yeah, we were tied at one point without converting a third down. Like, what is the other team supposed to think? Like, what else can we do?
Right.
I mean, that's why I don't worry about what the Auburn fans are thinking, but I'm just to go from the despair that Georgia fans had, seeing the team just get absolutely blasted on offense and defense, to, I mean, just the lowest of the lows, to actually winning by 10. To be Auburn fans, everything is going your way. It is a night to remember, and then the wheels come off. Oof.
The dogs have a horseshoe stuck up their ass unless they're playing Bama. And I first noticed it, that Ohio State comeback. I was like, this changed from the Mark Richt years. I love Coach Rick, but if this is a Coach Rich team, we end up losing this game 40-10.
Yeah.
Because he dogs on top. You're right.
Well, like y'all were saying earlier, I mean, I've never thought, I've had some questions from Bobo, but the defensive side is more questionable.
That's to me and that's why, again, if they want to get rid of Glenn Schumann, I'll have a coaching hot board published within 10 minutes. We will get something out fast. We will sell subscriptions to UGA Sports like you never saw. People love, because we'll have it before anybody else. I've broken more coaching hires than anybody in the market. At least I feel that way. Maybe somebody's got me by one or two here, but I've been doing this a long time, and we've broken a ton of coaching hires. My point is, when Glenn Schumann is just getting his jock handed to him, they have, you can't get off the field. Auburn has the ball for 22 minutes. I mean, hell, the first drive, they took, 8 minutes off the clock?
8 minutes. 8 minutes.
They were 8 of 10 on third down. And as Dogs on Top says, Georgia was 0 of 8 on third down. And we like to talk about complementary, where if the defense plays well, that helps out the offense. The offense plays well, that lets the defense rest and lets them make adjustments. It can also be complementary when you were sliding, when you were going to crap. And the defense gives up an 8-minute drive. Georgia goes out, gets 4 plays. Then they have to punt it away. They drive on Georgia again. Luckily, Georgia holds them to a field goal. Offense goes out 3 and out. Come on, man. The defense finally stops them, and you go 3 and out. That's just – and again, that's when the first play is we're going to throw it on first down. Okay. It's a low propensity scheme. It's like you have to force it into a tight window. The tight end can't catch it. Now you're at 2nd and 10. It's like, hey, that was a bad play call. The little pitch there, that was a bad play call. So, but if your quarterback doesn't try to throw it like he's knocking down, like it's a 44 Magnum, maybe the catch is made, and all of a sudden, that's a brilliant call, Mike. You're in your bag. So,
yeah.
I'm just saying it's a varying line between, is it the execution, is it the scheme, is it the play call, is it the philosophy, and again, I go back to what Georgia put in for the Alabama game, specifically for 3 games prior to Alabama, they ran Talon Taylor on a corner route. So that Alabama, when they watched the film, they knew that when 11 got in, he ran a corner route. And when he ran it against Alabama, he ran a post. And he was wide open. And he drops it.
Yeah.
And
they're like, Mike Brewer didn't score enough. I'm like,
it's the players too.
Yeah, it's the players too. It's the personnel. It's like,
yeah.
I'll say this before I log off here, because I'm a Bobo defender for life. And if you want Bobo gone, just wait till Jared Curtis plays here, because we have Josh Allen coming to the University of Georgia to be our quarterback in a few years. And you tell me if you hate Bobo after that kid gets on the field and plays for us.
Exactly.
All right, guys.
I have an offensive line. They'll keep him upright. So, all right, we'll see you later, JC. Take care.
See ya.
All right, let me ask you a question. Let's rewind here. Fumble play. Let's talk about it. If you replay that, and let's just look at it from both sides here. If it's a fumble,
yeah,
is it a touchdown? If it's not a fumble, is it a touchdown for Auburn? How do you get spotted at the 1 yard line?
If it's not a fumble, then they're saying he got it over the line and then let it go.
Yep.
Because if he gets it over the line, which is what the Auburn contingent will say, he got it over. At that point, the play's dead. You can strip it away from him. He can drop it, whatever. So the minute it crosses the line of scrimmage or the goal line, the play's dead no matter what happens. Touchdown. So they had to say it came out before that, because any part of it gets over, it's a touchdown. So when they say it's a fumble, now it's a live ball. Who came up with it? The guy on the backside of the play, Kyron Jones. They say, or I'm assuming they say, that that's when they blew the whistle. Where was the ball on the 1 yard line? We went back and listened to it. Dayne brought it up on his laptop. He's like, hang on a second. And he grabs his laptop and plays it. And we're like, we're listening. And normally we went to the play before it and you could hear the whistle. So it's not like the whistle wasn't coming over on the TV.
Must have been a silent whistle. It must have been a whistle that didn't work.
Or it could have been blown by you. When you, especially on the goal line, you'll have the line judge and then the side judge. They get even with the ball and even with the goal line, and so they're both. And you see them both run in. One will hold up his hand saying, "I got the spot. I'm clear." The other one will say, "No, you got it," or "No, I got a better look." And sometimes they'll even compare notes.
Yeah,
who had the better view? I could see maybe the side judge or the line judge closest to the Auburn sideline blowing a whistle because he didn't see the ball pop out. All he saw was a guy he thought was quarterback get on top and stop momentum. And all those guys are slammed together. You blow the whistle so nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
But we didn't hear it.
Nothing.
I've worked the sideline with those parabolic mics, and it's amazing what you can hear. It's a big mic, and you turn that thing, and it goes down to a pinpoint. It is amazing to listen to the coach on the other side, listen to the quarterback in the huddle. You can hear everything, and they pick up a lot, and they have mics all over the place. That's why sometimes you hear the crowd noise. So to answer your question, that's why that thing took so long. I'm pretty sure they knew right off the bat that he didn't get over. And they're like, well, where do we put the ball?
Yeah.
Who blew a whistle? They ran it to the end of the end zone. I think he should have given him a touchdown. But
absolutely, 110%. I think so too. And that's just because I got confused on that. I mean,
it was confusing.
Yeah, I was I think everybody was kind of confused on that. I just didn't know the ruling.
He said they said something about not being able to advance it. I don't know why you couldn't.
I promise you, I heard everything Kirby Smart said after this. After this, he must have a British clap or something.
He looked like such a liar. He really did. I mean,
they were playing it up on the big screen. You know they were. You know they were. You know they were playing that up on the big screen at Jordan.
They did because Hugh was pointing. Hugh Freeze was like, "Look, you sons of bitches!" He's pointing timeout. So. And the funny thing was, he wound up with a timeout to spare. So
absolutely, we didn't need it at the end, thank God, but we were given that. So
let's bring on Ben. I know Ben's going to have a comment or two here, no question. He's chomping at the bit. Before I bring him on, though, I do need to mention our friends at Hunker Vodka. You saw me; I got a brand new bottle because I killed the last one, and I opened it beforehand so that I knew I would need it tonight. So I took off the wrapper and drinking it neat. It is fantastic bourbon. ASW Distillery makes award-winning spirits. They make award-winning bourbons. They start out with Fiddler that basically won the World Championship of bourbons. And, of course, they have their rye, they have their vodka, and 5 of the 6 founders of ASW Distillery are Georgia grads. So they also make the Hunker series. The Hunker series is their bourbon and vodka that are designed for tailgates. They're just fantastic bourbons. The Hunker's about $50. You can find it everywhere. The vodka is, of course, less than that. Great for a tailgate. And what really ticked them off was the folks at Tito's. Tito's vodka gave the University of Texas $1 million or over. I mean, it's well over $1 million. And they're like, well, screw that. We can make vodka. We can make better vodka than they can. And let us give money to the University of Georgia. If they're making enough that they can get $1 million to give to the University of Texas, let's see what we can do. And they've been advertising with us for years. So the best thing you can do right now, if you are a drinker like myself, if you like bourbon or if you like vodka, Don't buy that crappy Tito's. Don't buy Grey Goose. Oh, God, Grey Goose. Don't get me started on that garbage. Don't buy those just god-awful cheap bourbons that just will take the paint off a Buick. Get a good bourbon. Don't break the bank. And the proceeds of what you buy will go and help land a guy like Colby Young, like a Zachariah Branch, like a London Humphreys, like a Josh Horton. Let's give a shout out to Noah Thomas, who had a catch today for 30 yards in 2 games. He's had 6 catches for 155 yards against Auburn. That is over 27 yards a catch. So he is an Auburn killer. So shout out to, and again, I'm not saying that Hunker was the difference in him coming to Georgia, but it did not hurt that Georgia had that NIL check in their back pockets from the proceeds of Hunker Bourbon and Hunker Vodka. So shout out to them.
I'll be ordering a bottle tonight.
There you go. Ben Bachman. Let's get Ben's mug on here. See what Ben has to say.
Well, Roddy, I want to start off by saying I remember every previous year, I guess maybe last year's a little bit different. We would come on these post games. I feel like 90% of the games were blowouts, or it'd be like Georgia would win by 2 or 3 touchdowns, and we nitpick like the offensive line on short yardage or not getting sacks or something like that. I feel like this year's Roddy, every game is going to be 1 or 2 possessions, and Georgia's going to start off terrible in the first quarter. I feel like this is going to be a common theme for like the entire season.
That's why I said I can't do 5 more of these, Ben.
Because especially, I mean, the first quarters, it's kind of like Georgia enters the game, and whatever they're scripting to start is just not it. Yeah. Or they just come in, especially like on the road, and they're just, I don't know, they're not in rhythm early on. And then they go to the drawing board at halftime and change everything. And that's the one thing. I think Kirby Smart's the greatest motivator in the sport, because to come back as much as Georgia has, and like we said, outside of Alabama, Georgia's capable of coming back and beating everybody. Outside of, I guess, that Ole Miss game last year, Georgia's capable coming back and beating any single team as long as they keep it within range with him as the head coach. But I looked at today, and I know the pass rush still wasn't perfect, but they still got some pressure today for once. I thought this was probably their best, especially in the second half, where they actually got some
in the second half. Yes. First half, no.
First half, no, it was non-existent. And that's why, like, I looked at the first 2 drives, it was like 10-0. And I said, if Auburn scores on another drive, this game is just going to be a beatdown. Yeah. Because, Roddy, we talked about this. That is the toughest place to play because it's cursed. That place was loud as hell. That's the toughest place to play in college football, because if any Auburn team is competent, you have to play them on the road. It's going to be a close game. It's just how that team is. So I looked at that game, and Georgia didn't even rush for 100 yards. And we don't even know. I think you probably talked about it earlier about Bowens, because like he barely ran the ball.
Where the hell did he go?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they thought he wasn't playing well in the first half or he was hurt. I would assume he's hurt, because I don't know why you wouldn't play him, because McCray in the second half.
I don't know why you wouldn't start him. He earned the start.
Yeah, especially with how he played against Alabama, and I thought he played well against Kentucky too. So like
70 yards versus Kentucky is your leading rusher.
Yeah, so I don't understand that at all. But I look at that game and go, Zachariah Branch and Colby Young, they just need to be getting those 2 the ball. But I remember the thing that kind of changed everything to me was seeing Noah Thomas catch a pass. I didn't know he was still alive, Roddy. I'll be 100% honest with you, because I remember everybody in the fall was like, this guy's going to be like the face of Georgia, and he caught a pass. I'm like, he's still alive. He's still on the team. I didn't know he was on the team. And then the next drive, Georgia got a sack. I remember our buddy Penn Hurst. I texted him. I said, I don't know if this telecast is real. They got a sack, and Noah Thomas got the big pass play. I don't think this is real. So that game.
I'm having a stroke.
so that game.
I'm having hallucinations.
Yeah, I literally didn't know what I was seeing, honestly. Especially after the first half. I'm like, I don't know. These Georgia games, it's just going to be, at least we're going to have a lot to talk about for the rest of the season. That's one plus. But I mean, I think Georgia fans are going to be having heart attacks the whole year. But to me, my final thought is, I mean, this team is pretty relentless. I thought in the first half they were not physical at all. I thought on both lines of scrimmage in the first half, they just got pushed around. And that fumble, you can go either way with it, because in my opinion, one of the views I saw, I thought he was losing control of the ball before it even got punched out, personally. If you see, that's one thing, one of the angles it looked like that. So I think some people saying, oh, that was an obvious touchdown. It wasn't an obvious touchdown. You can make an argument to me that was a touchdown for Auburn, but also you can make an argument if they called it a fumble the whole way, Georgia would have got a touchdown there. It would have been a scoop and score for 6. So to me, they kind of settled on the middle option and just had, they upheld it and kept Georgia at the 1, which I thought, I guess, was the fair play there. But overall, that was probably one of the best Georgia wins, especially for Kirby going on the road against Auburn, because he hates them. probably that Georgia's had in a long time.
I'm with you there. Having controversy in one of these games is nothing new. I mean, I remember when Trey Matthews and Josh Harvey Clemens gave up the prayer at Jordan Hare. I mean, it's crazy things can happen in that stadium, especially at night. People can say, you know, oh well, he was definitely in. I'm like, the ball's moving around before you get there. For example, this let's see who this CFB Kings, college football Kings. This is a touchdown, 7 points taken from Auburn, and they're showing the line, and the ball's going over. But even there, he's not controlling the goddamn ball.
No,
you see his left hand's not on it. It's who holds a ball like that? It's already been knocked out, so he's not in control. Just the fact that if the ball goes over and it's touching your body doesn't mean you scored. You know,
it looked like when he dove, he was trying to switch hands, which made the ball look like he didn't have possession of it. So that's why I said I don't even think the punch out was the full thing. Like I think the punch out like pushed the ball back, obviously, but I looked at it from my mindset. I don't think he had control even right before the punch out happened.
I don't think he did either.
No, I agree with you 100%. And I'd still would like to hear from the SEC officiating crew why they downed it on the 1 yard line. I'm with you there on Heath asked, you know, let's talk about it. Why is it there? And if at the comment section somebody said, look, they said they couldn't advance it. I'm like, okay, well, why?
Why not?
How's it stop there? So
how do you come to the conclusion that it's at the 1 yard line right there? Why is that the conclusion? Why is it not at the Georgia 1 yard line? You know, like why? I don't know.
No, I'm with you there. So that's just nuts. But again, I think you make a good point. They got 3 points out of that. Okay, you're still up 10-3. That should not affect how you responded after Georgia gets the ball. They in second half they kick off. You kick off to them. It's not like Georgia was absolutely killing it. So
I think they stopped them after they kicked it.
Yeah. So
if I'm not right, if I'm not
they
wrong.
went. No, Georgia turned it over on downs.
Yeah, it could have been
Yes, they went
it could have
for it
been an
on fourth.
offsides. It could have definitely been an offsides.
Yeah. So Georgia goes 8 plays, 29 yards. Not exactly tearing it up there. You get the ball back, then what do? You turn it over on downs.
Yep, go 3 and out, I believe.
Yeah. No, 4 now because they went for it.
They went for it too. Yeah, that's exactly right.
So Georgia got the ball. Georgia gives the ball up at midfield and then gets it back in midfield. So at this point, it's still 10-7. I mean, 10-3. You're still up by a touchdown. You can't throw the whole game on that.
I will say the speed option.
The game was. You can be mad that you lost 3 points there, and then they are 7 and they get 3, but you're still winning. Go win the rest of the game. You didn't score again.
They also hurt themselves with the targeting call, and
I
mean they gave us yards. They gave us the 3 points.
That the only real drive of the first half. I think they had 3 penalties on that thing.
Yeah, they gave us the 3 points by penalties. So it's not like we were shoving it down their throats. So I don't know, but it's crazy. It was a crazy game.
I will say, Roddy, a speed option in the Mike Bobo playbook on 4th and 1. That popped me. I was sitting there like, because I was thinking on short yardage, Georgia was not running the ball well in these like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1s at times, especially when you look back at what happened against Bama. Maybe that was giving flashbacks. And I'm sitting there, I go, maybe they just put the ball in Zachariah Branch's hands because if he has space, you're going to get some level of yards. And they do that speed option. And I'm sitting there going, that was a gorgeous play call. Now, that nearly got botched. But at the same time, that was a hell of a play call.
That was a great play call, and I love it because what did they do? They knew it's the same thing at the end of the game when he winds up throwing it to Dave Frazier. If I'm facing Georgia on 3rd or 4th down, and it's 2 yards, 3 yards, I'm expecting a quarterback keep, quarterback run. And honest to God, if I'm Mike Bobo, that's what I'm running. So if you know they're going to key in on it, you do this. Both times he rolled out, one guy comes right after the quarterback. It leaves the other guy open. And it has been a long time since he's had to make that pitch. It's probably been since high school since he had to make an option pitch. And he did it beautifully in high school. The ball would just it looked like he was handing it off. He'd do like one little rotation and be right there, you know. And he's handing it off to a guy who's not nearly as good a player as he is, but knowing that everybody's going to key in on him, he'd toss it out there, or he'd fake the toss and cut back inside and pick up 17 yards. And boy, did he almost botch that pitch. if he throws it good, that one goes 25 yards.
Yeah.
I like it. And again, now you got to plan for it. So fun time.
That last offensive drive that might have been one of Mike Bobo's top 3 or 4 drives he's called. Especially, I thought the throw to Humphreys on, I forget if it was 3rd or 4th down. When they dialed it up to, it was kind of like,
I think it was.
Yeah, and I remember they had basically Branch was like a decoy because everyone was expecting it to be a screen or a dump off to him, and their whole defense followed him, and then Humphreys slipped. I thought that was a gorgeous play call.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he was just dialing it up. That drive was perfect. I remember telling people if they just go 5-6 minutes, kill 5-6 minutes of the clock, Georgia's going to win this game. He killed if Gunnar
8 minutes 45 seconds.
If Gunnar would have just need the ball outside of scoring the touchdown, they would have killed a full 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And again, I'm happy he dove in the end zone. I'm happy for all the people that picked Georgia to cover.
That's got to be a bad beat. That's got to be a bad beat.
Yeah, I didn't pick Georgia to cover, did I?
Yeah, if I was betting that game, honestly, I might be kind of pissed. Yeah. I'll be honest.
But and I mentioned that he should have taken a knee there, and people are like, no, he should have scored. What if we fumbled on the next play? I'm like, are you kidding me? You're going to be taking knees. How are you going to fumble that?
Yeah.
They've got one timeout. You're past the 2-minute mark. You're going to take it down to nothing. You're going to kick another field goal so that they can't even tie it up. And I mean, at that point, you can probably run the clock out to nothing. So, and you would have taken the record for the longest Georgia drive. So the 8 minutes and 45 seconds, 16 plays, 78 yards. That was tied for Georgia's longest drive in history, apparently.
Has anyone ever fumbled, like kneeing the ball? Like, I don't think I've ever.
Yes. It has happened.
It sure has. Who was it that lost on the fumble? Was it?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. But
Georgia Tech? Did Georgia Tech win it? Who was it? A couple years back.
The team playing Georgia Tech screwed it up.
I think Georgia Tech won it.
It was Miami.
Miami.
There you go, Miami.
Yeah. All they had to do was take a knee, but they didn't knee it. All they had to do was take a knee, and they ran the ball, and Georgia Tech won it.
Yeah, he wanted to like stat pad rushing yards, and he fumbled it. I remember. Yeah. I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. So, I will say this, and I'll get off here and let somebody else get on here. But any win is a win.
Yes.
You're 5-1.
Yeah.
Should be 3-3. I think this game kind of was like the Tennessee game where that crowd noise went from right here, and then it just kept going down and just going down. And then you look at the crowd, and they're all like this. They're all like, just what the hell just happened? You just got Kirby Smart. That's what you just got. That's what you just got. But
as frustrated as Georgia fans were 2 weeks ago, losing to Alabama again. Think about it. Think about the decade of dominance that Kirby Smart has. If you are a Tennessee fan, you're like, we haven't beat that SOB in 9 years. If you were Auburn, you're like, we haven't beaten him in 2,860-something days. My kid was 1 year old when we beat them in 2017. Now he's going into 6th grade, and we haven't beaten them. What? Yeah. I mean,
I was a 10-year-old. I was a 10-year-old the last time Kentucky beat us. I was 10. I was 10.
Exactly. Now you can drink, you slut.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but that's the point. It was like when you think about that dominance, and these are your rivals. Tennessee is a rival. Auburn's a rival, and you've got 9 in a row on them. That is heartbreaking as a fan. We got them on the road. We're killing them. There's no way they're coming back from this. We're about to be up 17-0, and you lose 20-10.
Yeah.
Think of the people walking out of that stadium, walking back to their car. The stadium was packed until the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
They're all leaving at the same time. And again, I'm thinking at this point, they are going to turn on that. If there was anybody on the fence about that coach. And shout out to our friends on the Auburn beat who were all picking Auburn to beat Georgia.
It was looking very possible.
It was looking very. I'll give them credit.
Auburn's. Like my question is, what happens to Auburn's future? Because you look so far, every year under Hugh Freeze has been disappointing, and I think their team this year is still a good football team. It's just a loaded conference. And if they lose another 2 or 3 games, like you have to look at Auburn and be like, are they going to accept winning like 6-7 games every year? Like,
how long has it been since they've had a winning season?
Just one more year. Like I would figure you would just get like one more year after this. Is my thought process.
I don't even remember the last time Auburn had a winning season. I don't know.
It's been at least 3 or 4.
At least. I mean, they have a good defense. Like I said, they have a good defensive team. They do. Offense is shaky.
Yeah, they have a great defense, and as Andrew points out, they've lost all their close games, which again makes it so much worse. Oh my God! And again, you don't want to be blown out.
No.
But just as we can go back and say, oh God, if Talon Taylor catches that ball, we finally beat Alabama. Just the way Alabama weighs on your soul as a Georgia fan. That's what Kirby Smart does to Florida fans, Auburn fans, Tennessee fans, Tech fans, South Carolina, Clemson, everybody that's not named Alabama.
Yeah.
Even with one of his least talented teams and least talented coaching staffs. And I'll kind of end with this because I need to go. We're well over 2 hours here. When Kirby said last year, this is my best coaching staff, or he said, I love this staff. It's maybe one of my best ones. And I'm like, I don't agree with that. And then he said, we did our best coaching job. I'm like, that I do agree with, because the elements that they were missing last year were obvious, and they still won the SEC. And maybe if you don't lose Carson Beck, you go further in the playoffs. So I thought they did a great coaching job last year. This year, not so much. But it's almost like, my friend Jim Donnan, when he said, I've waited a long time to coach this team to have this much talent, and he did. There's almost like this hubris, this cosmic punishment for being too complimentary of your team. And he takes up, he says, this is one of my best coaching staffs. It did not look like it tonight. Second half looked like it. First half looked like they'd never seen football before. And it's just funny how the coaching gods, if you will punish you for saying anything nice about your football team. Don't ever say, I've been waiting to coach a team like this, because they can just come back and bite you in the ass. I've been waiting. This is my best coaching staff. It's like, oh, no, don't say that.
No, especially early in the season. I get, like, if you're in the playoff and you're like,
yeah,
I love this coaching staff, because it's like, look at how far back.
After you won the whole thing, this was the best staff I've ever had.
Suppose he says that, and then they just go like 6 or 7-5, and it's like, oh crap. This is probably my worst. And then after the season, like,
we will not be hunted.
Yeah.
What's his record since we will not be hunted?
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But one SEC title.
Yep. Or you don't come in and say we're going to be undefeated this year like Dabo did. Don't come in.
Example.
Don't
Anybody
come in
that says anything that we call bulletin board material, the football gods will punish you.
Yeah, I keep thinking about Tyler now that you brought up Dabo, because I saw James Franklin. I don't know, Roddy, if you saw James Franklin's call-in show the other day. Like the first 4 questions were, "I'm so proud of you, James Franklin." Like after they lost to UCLA, and the one guy just called in and said, "We are." Can I get a "we are"? And like those are the first 4 calls. He just lost to UCLA. So 0-4. Who's like offensive coordinator's like 22 or whatever, and had called plays for 2 days, and all of the phone calls are like, "We love you, James Franklin." And then you think of Dabo getting called by Tyler and like going into
Tyler from Spartanburg's on line 2.
And then turn
How
around
about
and lose to
you take that
Northwestern
dang
today.
football team?
Yeah.
They lost to Northwestern today. Penn State did. So
Imagine if Kirby took calls after like an Alabama game. I think like the viewership would be absurd.
I will tell you this though. I know one person on our staff watched our postgame show after the Alabama game. Said he couldn't sleep.
But it wasn't Bobo. He doesn't give you
It's
information.
not Mike Bobo.
He does not give you information, so he does not watch.
Like, come on, Mike. I covered you in college. You could at least give me some inside information. Mike and I, when I first got into the business, Mike and I had a run-in, and he's never told me anything since. So be it.
So be it.
Hey, can we give let's end on some I got Heath and Ben with me. Let's give some helmet stickers before we go.
Go ahead, Ben.
All right, I'll give out 3 of them. I'll give out one on offense and defense, maybe another one in there. So first, I'll go Zachariah Branch because I just think whenever they just needed a play, like especially 9 catches. I mean, it was 1st and 20, they went to him. Then it was 2nd and 11, they went to him, and I think then they might have went to him again later on that drive. He was just willing them. So I think with him, he was just making play after play, just getting those tough yards. And then on defense, it has to be C.J. Allen. I mean, C.J. Allen filled up the back. I mean, 10 tackles? A sack. I mean, Georgia got a sack is something of its own. Whoever gets that should get a game ball regardless. And he gets credited with the forced fumble, which was the play of the game. So, I mean, C.J. Allen has to be on.
Was it him or Raylan Wilson that forced it?
Oh, it was Raylan Wilson?
No, I wasn't sure who hit it.
I'm on Georgia's site. It says C.J. Allen gave it.
Okay. I wasn't doubting you. I wasn't sure who hit the ball. So.
I thought it was one of the Joneses personally when I saw it live.
Yeah.
So I'll go. Yeah, I'll just leave it at those 2.
Yeah, forced fumble is on the stat sheet. It says C.J. Allen, so I'll stick with it. Okay.
I'm gonna give 3. Zachariah Branch is definitely getting one from me.
You got one already, dude. You got to move on.
Yeah, well, okay, all right, fine. We'll go Colby Young. We'll go Colby Young because he looked like he fought his ass off, and I think he jumped too early, obviously, but I think he tried his damnedest to get that ball. Should have been a free play, but we'll give one to Colby Young. We'll give one to Raylan Wilson, and I'm going to give one to Gunnar Stockton because he keeps the composure within that offense. I think he's a good leader. I think he keeps the offensive line composed, and I like Gunnar's leadership on the team.
I'm with you there. I was going to go with Colby Young just because the way he fought every time he caught the ball.
Yeah,
he is throwing people around like a damn bull in a ring. It is, he is something serious.
Yeah,
I'd like to get more than
that penalty. It would have been a touchdown for Colby Young.
Yeah,
it'd been close.
Targeted 6 times with 4 catches. I would. I'd like to see more from him. I was going to give one to see Noah Thomas finally getting one. He had one catch for 30 yards, but then he went up one-handed later on in the game. So, dude, come on, man. And I get it. They practice that. You know, you work with guys throwing to you and you think that you can get it. And you want to hold a guy off with one hand, but he wasn't even pushing the defender away. He still just went up with one hand. Even if you can't catch it, go up with 2. If you go up with 2 and the guy's holding your jersey like he was, it's a lot more obvious to see it.
The fact that he exists in this game, he should get a game ball for just existing. Because I forgot he existed.
He had 30 snaps last week. People are like, why is he not playing? He played 30. And I will give him one because he also got a pass interference call. So he gets 1 30-yard reception and 1 pass interference call that should have gone to him. Or the ball went to him and there was pass interference. So that one wasn't his fault. So
he actually got 30 snaps last week.
30 snaps. But remember, they played first and second team. So
oh yeah, but
I've
never seen more empty 30 snaps.
We didn't give one to Nate Frazier. I think Nate Frazier deserves one. He starts the game. He made some tough runs there. Cash Jones. I mean, remember he got out there a couple times on first or second down. Normally he's always on third down, but they're like, hey, we need to slow this defense down So we're going to bring in a guy that we know we can throw one into the flats. They came like their hair was on fire. Auburn fires through the line, and they dump it to Cash Jones. He picks up 11 yards. So it's like, you guys want to keep doing this? And then he had that 21-yarder. Come on. So, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't 21. How many was it? 7 yards. 7 yards, and that was brilliant. Then on defense, let's see, where's my guy that had
Are the tight ends ever going to get one on offense? I feel like Gunnar is like the least. I've never seen a quarterback throw so little to tight ends since Kirby's been at Georgia.
How many did he throw tonight?
9.
No, he threw. I have the box score.
9.
He threw 9 passes to tight ends,
and only 3 were completed, I believe.
Yeah, 2 to Delp, and one
of
Lucky
them was knocked
16,
down.
16 yards by the tight ends.
One of them was knocked down, though. I do remember he came
Elias
across
Williams. Yeah, he played. The alien was on the field.
Yeah.
Elias Williams did not catch the one that hit him in the hand. They threw 5 to Lawson Lucky. He got 1.
Yeah, he caught 1, and Delp had 2.
So, Delp 2 catches on 3 targets. Lawson Lucky 1 catch on 5 targets, and Elias Williams had a target and did not catch it. So 9 passes to the tight ends. They caught 3. That's on them. And the QB, so some of them were not catchable.
Yeah, if Gunnar gives it above those hands, I mean, Delp was wide open. The field was wide open.
So again, it's just not a great situation there. There's one I remember thinking during the game. I wanted to mention this guy
for defense.
I remember I did mention Thomas earlier. Gabe Harris. Gabe Harris had 8 tackles. Excuse me, 5 tackles. And there's a couple of times where he actually got in there. Quintavious Johnson also had a nice breakup or 2, but there were a couple of times I'm seeing big number 0. I'm like, okay, Gabe. They all look like crap the first half. 0 edge containment. I do not understand why they didn't just keep running to the edges. And then, you moved them out a little bit, but then when you move them out, they cut inside and get big gains. So, that's how you counter that. But the first half, I said Georgia has 0, all caps, edge protection, meaning Quintavious Johnson, Gabe Harris are not doing their jobs. Chris Jones came in, didn't do a whole lot, or at least I didn't see him do a whole lot. Didn't see a whole lot from Chris Cole. Saw Justin Williams play a whole lot. Didn't see those guys put up some crazy numbers. Maybe they did their jobs right and somebody else picked them up. But in the second half, Gabe Harris stepped up. So I give him
Roddy, do you remember the play where they threw it deep? And I know they dropped it, but he had to extend out for the catch for Auburn. I remember Georgia, someone hit Arnold on the throw hard. Whoever that was, honestly, maybe the most underrated play of the game because he popped Arnold on the throw, which altered it because otherwise he probably would have hit him in stride.
It came from Arnold's right side, so it'd be the left side on RD.
I saw Kyron Jones get beat in coverage.
Yeah.
The last guy you want on Cam Coleman.
Yes.
Someone said the Army transfer. Oh, it's the Army transfer. What's his name?
Elo Mendoza?
Yeah, they said he hit him. So that's an underrated play.
That'd be great. I mean, that'd be the first time I've heard his name in a couple of weeks. But
I do want to give one more helmet sticker out to Bobo for playing through injury. Drew Bobo. He played through some injury.
Did he?
Yeah, they said he was questionable at the beginning of the game and said it was a game-time decision. And so I will give one to him too.
I did not know that.
Me and Dayne were talking about that earlier. So it was game-time decision. And so
along those lines, if you want to do that, you also got to give one to Dalen Everett and Ellis Robinson, who both got hurt, and they stuck it out. And last week we saw Micah Morris go down and pop back up. Again, I know when we talk about fire, passion, energy, it sounds like some rah-rah coach speech, but you have a guy, Monroe Freeling, who was not healthy, goes out there and is like, Bo Hewley is not getting it done. Bo Hewley gets beat on the left side. They bring in Monroe Freeling, put Bo to the right side. Bo gets beat over there. Now, other times Bo did great, but other times he got beat. And my point is, if Monroe Freeling is injured, he comes in. You mentioned Bobo. I didn't know that about Bobo. He's a game-time decision. God, can you imagine if Cortez Smith was in there? You'd have had 3 true freshmen on the offensive line.
Yep.
And then that other play where you put Elias Williams in on the right side, you'd have 4 true freshmen on the line.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, man, that's making my butthole pucker. I'm scared about it. God.
Which makes you feel even better about the win, though. I mean,
it does. And huge win. And again, this is that fumble play reminds me of Sean Jones picking the ball up and running 96 yards against Tennessee in 2003. Just they're trying to punch it in, and just a complete reversal of fortune. Just the fact that you're expecting them to go up and boom, it goes the other way.
Yeah.
And I would love to see Kyron Jones get that one. That would have just, for a guy who struggled, for him to get the ball and run all the way back, that would have made his whole season. So
he was a high school running back. I don't think he played much DB in high school, if I remember correctly. I thought he was being recruited by, I think, Virginia Tech at running back. He wasn't even a traditional defensive back either.
Wow. He ain't playing much DB here either.
No.
Nah, that was mean. I shouldn't have said that. We'll give him. He's very good against the run. He is very good. He hits. He knocks guys back. And first half. And here's the thing: people's like, well, what changed in the first half and second half? First half, they didn't tackle for crap.
No, the run
second
defense
half,
is awful.
they didn't miss a tackle.
The run defense is awful.
Their offensive line made us look like little boys.
Auburn's pass game was not impressive.
Yeah. I'm just going to give credit. The way they tackled the second half, I would love to see a comparison. Maybe our friends at Pro Football Focus have it. Tackles missed in the first half versus tackles missed in the second half, because they were lights out in the second half.
For sure.
So, all right, folks, I'm going to have to wrap up the show there. It's 2:11 in the morning. If you're listening to this on the next day, we appreciate you listening to the podcast version of it. And I know it's not as fun if you're walking or jogging or driving in your car and see everybody's faces, but we do appreciate all the people that listen to this on their Apple Podcast and Spotify and such. It means a lot to us. So thank you much. And for Heath and Ben and myself, we will see you next week. Georgia hosts Ole Miss at 3. College Game Day should be coming to Athens.
Should be. Hey, listen, I thought they were coming to Athens against Alabama, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So
I said before the game about noon, I said if Georgia and Ole Miss win, College Game Day will be coming to town. Mm-hmm. So if they do announce that, then I'll be proven right.
That's right.
If they go somewhere else, then I will tell you my sources inside ESPN are wrong. So
yep,
we'll see. Right. All right, folks. Y'all take care.
Appreciate you, Roddy.
See you, my man.